Foo, 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 foo. Right, guys. You're about ready?
Yeah, I gotta pop out the chat real quick.
Please do so, because our intro is about to play.
There you go. Yeah, I think we live.
Tension trailers playing on me.
Yeah. What is up? Episode 40. We made it. I apologize for the lateness. That it's completely unacceptable. I apologize, but we're here. Shouts out to everybody. I am your host, Best Spot, Kid Smooth, aka Bloodborne King. We are live.
The Bloodborne King, baby. That's right. Neil up next. Neil up next.
I don't know about that, but let's start with Frog's Dream. Frog. I couldn't hear you.
Can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. What's going on, everybody? What's going
already?
Yeah. Frog is here. Frog is ready to go. You can catch me on on my channel, Frog's Dope Gaming. I'm just here to talk games. I'm ready to go.
All right. And Merc 305, what's up?
Yo, Merc, we're back. We're back for another episode. You know, everybody's back. I know that we missed we missed last week because some of these guys were at PAX, which I'm sure we'll get into that. And man, looking forward to talking some games for sure.
Yeah. And Gaming Addict, man, what's up?
What's up?
Nothing much. And Psycho Gamer, what's up, man?
What's happening, man? This is Psycho Gamer. Catch me on Twitter. And, yeah, let's get it.
I'm disappointed.
Why?
Because Psycho's not using his new icon.
Oh shit! Hold on, I thought I was.
Yeah, don't worry about changing it. Don't worry about changing it down.
I don't think he changed his Discord one. I think that's what it is.
We'll
be Discord. Okay.
We'll be prepared.
I thought I did. I thought I changed it on everything. My bad.
No, it's all good. We'll be prepared next week. So episode 40, a lot of things happened. Some of us went to PAX East. Shout out to Jess, who should be joining us in about 40 minutes. Gaming Addict, me, we were all there live. Next year, it's going to be the whole team. Promise you guys that. We're all going to be there. But we had a great time. Tried out a whole lot of things. Met a lot of people. Did quite a few interviews. And you'll see proof of it in some of the streams, interviews that we got coming in the future. I will let you guys know who we'll be having in the future. And I think you guys will be interested in seeing who we got. But otherwise, I mean, it's been a crazy week. I know there's a lot of PlayStation information out there. Xbox dropped some news today. I mean, well, yesterday with the Inside Xbox. We're gonna crazy week. I know there's pull the round. I mean, I hear the background. Somebody listening to this in the back? No,
not me.
Okay, I thought I heard it. All right. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Inside Xbox. Part 2. This was the first episode of Inside Xbox. Received criticism for being too long. A lot of Sea of Thieves information. There was no freaking news-worthy kind of stuff there, and people were a bit underwhelmed. And hopefully, I don't know if that set up anybody's expectations for Inside Xbox 2. But we're gonna start with, as far as thoughts. So let's start with Frogs. On your thought of Inside Xbox 2.
The positives I guess I can give basically is they showed with their original Xbox games. They showed some games that I remember. I think it was a lot of nostalgia there, bringing back some of their original Xbox games. These games look absolutely stunning from what they showed. Hopefully, it looked like that. And also, I think the games they added that are enhanced are absolutely stunning. And that's really, I guess, probably the most positive thing I can say. On the negative side, I think it ran too long. They did that whole Sea of Thieves skit where the people were in the little sub. That was corny as hell. But I don't think that in my opinion, I don't think that people really should. When they watch these inside Xboxes, I've kind of put my mindset to this is really not a Nintendo Direct. This is not an E3 press conference. This is not. This is just something to really kind of just throw information out there. The one thing that I was kind of on the fence about is when they were talking about was it Xbox the FanFest, and they were like, you had to. I guess we did some research and you had to pay for it. And it was free, but now you got to pay. And I think the reason they might have did some of those things is because they want numbers. They want to be able to see what numbers so they can kind of adjust for how many people are going to get at E3, watch the press conference. Mm-hmm. So overall, I would say as a Xbox gamer overall, nothing they showed me really like made me jump out of my chair, other than the interview with Michael Ironside, where he burped on an interview. It's pretty awesome. Michael Ironside is a freaking legend. I can't wait. If that's an indication that we're getting another Splinter Cell, I'm there day one. But other than that, nothing made me jump out of my chair. But in the same instance, I would say if I came with the expectation of a Nintendo Direct or anything higher than that, then I think it would have let me down. But I think it was too long. Again, it was a little bit too long, and they did too many little interviews. I think they did too many of those. But other than that, I think it was okay. It was okay. It was all right.
All right, Merc, you got a smirk on your face.
I'm reading the chat. Okay. Chat's already going off.
Already going in.
Yeah. Let's Cycle. Did you get the chance to watch the Inside Xbox episode 2?
I did get to watch it.
All right. What's your thoughts on it, man?
My thoughts on it. I don't know. Like I look at these as more of a behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. That's what I look at them as now. I mean, and not so much as a reveal, a place for reveals. You know what I mean? I expect them to show some reveals every once in a while, every here and there. But for the most part, I think it's more so behind the scenes of whatever the topic is at that time. So let's say if it was Sea of Thieves, they would give you more of the behind the scenes of Sea of Thieves. If it was, let's say if the topic was State of Decay, they would give you more of the behind the scenes on what built State of Decay to be what it is today, or what brought it to its point today. And that's what I would look at these, more so look at these inside Xbox things as opposed to it being the place to for them to reveal new games or whatever it may be. So, but all in all, I would say it wasn't all of that entertaining with it being what it was. They did provide some information and some new things as far as Red Dead Redemption being was it 4K now? Mm-hmm. And it was something else that was 4K now. I can't remember what it was.
Gears of War 2.
Gears of War 2.
Yeah. So Gears of War 2, and then
Star Wars Unleashed, and all
that good stuff. And then what was it? There was some new Xbox games, some original Xbox games revealed, and I'm particularly excited for Conquer. Other than that,
finally backwards compatible.
Yeah, it's finally backwards compatible. And other than that, other than that, I'm I just look at it for what it is, and it was okay for what it was. But it just kind of got me bored towards the end. I was like an hour in. I was just like,
I mean, it's here's the thing. Because of episode 1, the tone is set for the rest of however many of these things that they do. And I feel like you mentioned, they're focused on like the stories of some of these games and some of the announcements, and that stuff I really don't really care about, but maybe they do. It's like a spotlight on a couple of developers for that month for a game that's coming out on the platform. I do think the Splinter Cell interview was interesting because there was some information there that I didn't know. I found them speaking with Gears Viking. That's his Twitter name, but
Rod Ferguson
about the Gears 2 Xbox One X enhancement, the backwards compatible list, which turned out to be a lot more than the stuff that got leaked. And I thought it was cool, you know what I mean, and that the games are looking like dramatically better now than what they were originally. So it's my thoughts on Inside Xbox 2 wasn't like, oh, this is trash or oh, this was boring. It's because I'm not looking at it as a second coming of Nintendo Direct or a mini E3 or anything like that. I'm looking for it as what it is. You know what I mean? I feel like it's an extension of what's the Major Nelson show he does every Friday, Xbox Weekly or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, so
something like that.
It's like whatever. It's like I don't feel like I need to tune in every day, but I only tune in just for the simple tiny percentage that they might drop a gem. You know what I mean? But we pretty much watch it for politicking and for content, for like this podcast, you know?
Yeah, but you know what though? The one thing that they took back the feedback from last time, like last time we knew completely what they were going to talk about. And we're like, oh, there was no surprises at all. And in reality, there were some surprises that we didn't know about necessarily in this particular episode. So you could tell that they kind of took some of that feedback, you know, as a whole. Yeah, I think it was too long. But, you know, the fact that we got some nuggets, especially obviously the Red Dead in 4K, which I got a chance to play.
I can't wait to play it.
I got a chance to play it. Man, I mean, for a game from last generation, it looks really good.
Let us
really
know
good
what that looked like, man. Let us know, man.
It looks great. I actually played Gears of War 2 as well. They're both 550 megabyte patches on Xbox. Patched the game. I launched them both last night, and man, incredible. Red Dead actually, believe the hype, man. It looks that good. It looks that good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it is crisp.
Yeah, man.
Addict, did you get a chance to watch it? Is Addict around?
Yeah.
That basically tells you Addict's summary of inside Xbox.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like people be acting like this is gonna be like an E3 every month. I know this shit ain't gonna be an E3 every month, so I don't like really hype myself up for this shit at all.
Yeah, it's
I feel you.
Much, this was designed for a platform that they can announce games with gold. A platform they can announce the games that's coming to Game Pass the next month. The platform where they can announce backwards compatible games coming the next month. It was not designed to be dropping Xbox gems every month.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. I do wish that they would have said something about Crackdown. No.
Yeah,
that was a disappointment for me. I'll be honest.
This whole lack of Crackdown thing, it's starting to tick me off a little bit. But
it is, which is a telling story on the state of that game, probably.
But then again, who's to say that they're going to talk about it? It hasn't even been really, updated since its delay. So why would Inside Xbox be the place we expect to hear it?
Didn't they say it was going to drop in the spring? They said it was going to drop in the spring, right?
Yeah,
the one they delayed it originally?
It was supposed to be like early 2018 or spring 2018. Technically, spring is until June 21st, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it ain't dropping in the spring, but if that thing does not drop in August, it's dead on arrival. It has to drop in... Well, I know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Not dropping in June. It has to drop in July, August, September.
It starts getting crowded.
I don't know if it's crowded. In the room. It could drop in September. It could drop in September if it drops the same week as Spyro. I mean, but it's just that's the latest I would say. Hey, drop it. But I'm not going nowhere in October or November.
Nah, can't.
And then December is an afterthought. Nobody's going back out to buy any games in December. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So.
I agree with you.
I think
they delay that game one more time.
The game's probably been delayed
it's
twice
be
since its original delay. They just haven't announced a date, so that's why we don't see that it's quote unquote delayed. But they need to do something. They really need to do something with it.
Oh, we're pulling up on E3 soon. Believe it or not, I can't even believe we're saying that. But E3, we're definitely gonna know. We're definitely gonna know in E3.
They're gonna have to show it at E3 or talk about it if it doesn't come out before E3.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about PAX East. There was I don't know if you guys been online. Me, Addict, and Jez was there, and I'm sure Jez is gonna be able to talk much about his experience. I could not keep up with Jez, or Jez, I guess, couldn't keep up with me. But here's a little.
Said you were disappearing, man. Like poof.
Yeah, because the thing is, my problem is I'm walking around with my head down, like replying to everybody, and I would look up like, oh shit, I lost Addict and I lost Jez. That's exactly what it would be like. It was kind of crazy. There's a picture of us. I don't know if any of you guys are looking at the YouTube screen or the Facebook screen or the Twitch screen, because we're actually on all platforms right now. That was the picture when we were, for the brief moment we were all together, we were able to catch a photo, because shortly after that, I think I got lost. It was a lot of games there. At the Xbox booth, there was Decay 2, there was Ashen, there was Below, there was this new bike game I've never heard of. Of course, there was Sea of Thieves that made a return. PUBG was there. Was it H1? No, it was DayZ was there.
For Xbox, it was there. They were showing it
for Xbox. Yeah, it was playable.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
There's quite a few games that were there. I got to play all the games that I wanted to play. Me and Addict did Ashen. It's actually on his channel, where we were like the only two to beat the boss during the demo.
The Bloodborne gods.
It was crazy because Addict,
they showed up and mopped up Ashen, bro.
Yeah.
Is Addict, you still there? Damn it, I don't know where he went, but
I'm here.
All right,
He's
so
there.
Tell the story about what happened when we were playing Ashen and how we were trying to get assistance on where to go after we beat the boss.
After we beat the boss, I'm looking around. I'm like, well, where do we go? And I'm sitting there, and they have that dude there that's there to keep an eye, give out awards and shit. And I asked him, I was like, well, where do we go? I'm confused. Dude looked at me with the most straight eye, like, dude, I ain't never seen anyone get this far. I have no clue where you go.
We were like, oh, well,
there you go.
Okay.
Should have handed him a card, Planet Xbox.
I was like, yes, exactly. I was like, okay, give me your business. We went, we end up figuring it out, and had a nice cinematic to end the demo and whatnot. Looking forward to the game. Met up with the PR people over there. So the developers on the Ashen will be on Planet Xbox in the near future. So we're in there like swimwear, like we're in there. But that was a cool experience. Got to play Below. And we all know about Below. They went dark after like they first showed off the game. They were gone for like a couple years, and now the game is like fully playable in full 4K. The concept is great. I played it, and that's actually coming. Actually, there's a couple of gems coming this year. You wouldn't consider like Ashen or Below like a AAA like games, but they're all coming this year. You got Ashen coming this year, Below coming this year. Days is looking like it's coming this year, and of course Decay 2 is coming this year. But but Below is dope. If you're into that type of game, me personally, like
what is Below? I'm trying to be familiar with it. I'm not too familiar with it.
This is how I look at Below. I think of old school Zelda and Souls type game, but not really a Souls game. It's like a game where permadeath exists, where you're just this explorer, shows up on this island. You hunt, because the thing is, you have to manage your health. You have to manage your temperature. You got to stay fed. You have to stay hydrated. You have to do all that, right? And obviously, you farm for stuff like that all across the map. You do different dungeons and whatnot while trying to maintain all this stuff. But the thing is that when you die, right? When you die, you're dead. You start at the beginning of the game with a complete new explorer. But you know how in Bloodborne and Dark Souls you unlock shortcuts to certain areas, so you don't have to retry the whole thing again. You can take the shortcuts to get back to where you died from and progress from there. So what happens is, because your original character is, since permadeath exists, you have to find where you died at so you can collect all the stuff that you collected when you died, so you can progress from there. Otherwise, you're gonna have to refarm for all that shit, and it doesn't respawn. So it's an interesting take. It's I don't know if it's gonna be something I sit there and try to super dive into. I'll play it, but it's not. It's gonna be something, a game that I start and then I beat like 6 or 7 months later after taking a break. But it's a cool looking game. The concept's dope. And no, I don't like turn-based RPGs for the person that just asked.
They were asking about your glasses.
I had to stop looking at the chat because I was about to start cracking up.
They were asking about your glasses, man.
I need
somebody said Smooth looked like somebody's grandma with them glasses on. And then somebody responded with the mints in the purse.
Oh, that's what okay. Oh, wow. Jokes.
I had to stop looking at the chat.
Is it true that Ashen has no faces on their characters? Yeah, but these are the same motherfuckers that have been gloating Dark Souls and shit for years when you don't even look at their faces.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. That is true. That is true.
When's the last time you looked at like the 540p fucking face on Bloodborne?
Yeah.
I don't know. I make the character stop it. I make the characters look like me, so I don't have to look at the face. I already know it looks like me.
How you make the character? See, I don't pay attention to detail.
No, seriously. Like someone tell me the last time you went up and looked at your character on Dark Souls and was like, he looks lit. Now, one of you motherfuckers can say you did.
No, on the Dark Souls, it's all about the costumes and the armors and all that. All the Souls games, it's always about your weapons and armor. To me, like I said, when I go in and customize my character always looks like me, so I don't need to look at the face.
So you like farming for sure then?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Every nook and cranny. I'm checking out every nook and cranny. I'm trying to get the most out of it. When I beat Dark Souls 2, I went back and started a new game plus because there were weapons. I was like I was like, I never went there. Let me go. I mean, I beat the game. I had fun and enjoyed it, but no, I'm the kind of guy I gotta search every nook and cranny. It's not even about the trophies or achievements.
Hold on.
I just gotta get everything.
Most dick sucking people I've ever seen. This whole chat is going crazy now. But all I said is it doesn't matter if they have blank fucking faces because people play the game more than they look at the fucking characters. But no, everybody in this comment section got to be all up everyone's dick. Oh my god!
Jeez, Addict, you're kind of like, there goes my monetization for the day.
Man.
I mean, damn, we lost him.
The faces, do I care about the faces? No. I mean, if it was a character, and this is I'm gonna tell you my personal opinion about the Souls game. How I look at Souls games is, if they made Castlevania today, it would be Dark Souls. Mm-hmm. That's how I've always looked at Souls games. I'm a huge Castlevania fan, and when I play the Dark Souls games, they remind me of what Castlevania should have been today. Really hard, really complicated. These dark worlds, these fantasy creatures. That's how I kind of look at any Souls type of game. That in the same vein as Castlevania. So I play it for mostly the weapons. But once I beat it and I'm going back through it, I'm helping other people out. I'm just that's how I play Souls games. Stop it, man! My dogs are flipping out over here. I don't know what it is.
I gotta try to find a way to get Addict back in here. Just give me.
Wait, what happened to him?
He dropped out. He blanked out when he was losing it at the chat.
Nah, he went out. I'm looking at the Discord. He went offline.
Why?
It's like if he got disconnected.
Oh, okay.
It's like if he disconnected. Let me see if I can dial him.
Hold on 1 second. Let me mute myself because my dog is.
There we go. I just ringing him now. Awesome. I'm ringing him now.
At least it fixes it temporarily.
Yeah.
Damn. Do any of you guys got that list for that that marketing deal?
What marketing deal?
The rumored marketing deals that Microsoft had. We would have talked about this last week if we had a podcast last week. But
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like they're supposed to have a marketing deal for Anthem, Splinter Cell. I don't have that.
You want me to drop it in the Discord chat?
No, because I have the Discord at full screen. Just drop it in on Twitter, and I can just
on Twitter. All right, I'll put it in the Twitter DM real quick.
What the heck is up with my dogs, man? Every time I get on the live stream.
Plug-in.
Yeah, hold on, man. Let me mute myself real quick.
There you go. I just put it in there on Twitter now.
Awesome. And while that's taking place, I'm gonna have us look at some of the. Just to give you guys a quick announcement before we continue. On Friday, I will be streaming a preview build of Sinner's Sacrifice for Redemption. That is the Souls. It's a Souls type game by another indie. The game has actually just been announced for the Switch, so it was going to come out in April, but now it's coming out in Q3. So it's coming out for the Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And I get to stream some of the bosses pretty early and give you guys a preview of what that's like. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Dude, you sent me like something to,
Reset Era?
No, dude, you sent me to let me make sure I'm looking at the.
It was a Reset Era?
Oh, never mind. I was clicking on your GameStop link. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nah, it should be, it's that Reset Era thread. That's the one that actually people were referencing.
Gee, where's the actual list?
Hold up.
The thing is, this is why I can't do Reset Era. It's because
Somebody asked a question in the chat.
What is it?
Person, please. And I can probably answer this because I don't know. They asked, do the Souls games have a real story instead of the lore crap? They do have real stories. They do connect to each other. But the lore is what's important in those games to connect the stories together. And it's same with Bloodborne. If you understand what Bloodborne's really about, you know, the story is it's a pretty deep story. They do tell a story. So yes, they do have story.
You know what's crazy? With of all this time that I played Bloodborne, I couldn't tell you what the story's about at all.
The name says it all. This thing, I'll just tell you like this, Smooth. Just think about some of the places you went and some of the names of some of the places you went.
You know what? I'll read off the list, Smooth, if you got it. I found it on IGN.
I've had the thing, but read the list because I can't sign. There's nothing. I can't see.
I'll read it off. I'll read it
off. Like a direct list of it. That's what's
all right. So the rumor marketing deals, which Battlefield 5, obviously, which I'm not surprised about that. Battlefield always, or EA for Battlefield, is always partnered with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Borderlands 3. There's rumor Microsoft got the marketing deal. Cyberpunk 2077, which if you remember, Xbox had the marketing deal for The Witcher 3. So so I know that does not surprise me at all. And if I want to say that The Witcher 2 was an Xbox 360 exclusive, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
So CD Projekt Red and Microsoft go way back, so I'm not surprised about that. The rumored Splinter Cell. I think everybody at this point knows that Splinter Cell is probably coming out.
Yeah.
And Madden, which is not a surprise. Madden's always Microsoft always has the marketing deal for Madden.
What do you guys think if they come out with Elder Scrolls 6 and Cyberpunk comes out in the same year, and Xbox has the marketing rights to it?
I mean, it'll be big. Right now, Microsoft needs to secure those marketing deals, man, for mindshare, since they don't have games like Sony coming out, right? Man, they have to take a page of like what Sony did. Look at how well like the marketing deal of Destiny did for Sony back then, before they were dropping like, you know, some of these fire games that they've been dropping. You know, I think the marketing deals are important for mindshare.
I think I agree with you. Marketing share. Marketing is really good if they get this stuff for mindshare, but I don't really think it matters because it's going to be on all platforms and people know.
No, it is.
Yeah,
but
so
it's the fact that ends with
and it says Xbox, right?
You know what I mean?
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
but you know, but that would just kind of, in the sense that kind of go back on what Phil Spencer was saying. He didn't want to do that. That's not what he wanted to do.
Well,
that was
they need to do they need to actually go to marketing 101 because they're not doing shit. Like as far as like
I agree.
Commercials. It's like if you're not gonna have. I understand if you're not gonna have like if you're not gonna publish a lot of first party games in the year. Okay. Here's the thing. I'd rather them do marketing deals or hell, do the worst. I don't buy freaking a bunch of third-party exclusives that I don't give a damn if they're timed by a year or two or just full-on third-party exclusives. I think that's any of those would be better than what they've done in the past year. I mean, I have nothing against it. I just think they seem non-existent. But I feel like, and I said this in Randall Thor's show yesterday, I feel like they're freaking stubborn. I feel like they know what's being said, they know what the perception is, but they're just not recognizing it because I guess it doesn't matter to them, and that's a headache.
Yeah, I know that Phil doesn't want to do like exclusive content with some of these marketing deals, but right now, if you're not putting out first party games, man, he's gonna have to go back on what he said. Like I think it's imperative for Microsoft.
He basically saying he needs to go back to his 360 days.
They need to go back to the 360 days. If you don't got no,
well, they need to call up Peter Moore and Don Matrick.
Facts.
I mean,
facts, man. If it was Peter Moore and Don Matrick, you know exactly what would happen.
If it's Peter Moore, Peter Moore's in it to win.
Those guys are vicious, man. And I just don't see. That's the one thing about Microsoft that's frustrating me, man. Like, man, you ever see, for example, like Sony congratulating Microsoft about launching a game? I know people have heard this. You know, people say this before. But man, Sony's not going to congratulate you about State of Decay sold 2 million. They're not going to do that. I mean,
they worry about themselves.
They worry about themselves. You can't be shining light on the competition. That's just the fact of what it is, you know. And that's the part of Microsoft that pisses me off, because I actually do think that would have a substantial impact, you know, at least for mind share purposes.
Yeah.
You know, look at Destiny. What Destiny did for Sony, man. That's undeniable. What Destiny did for Sony.
Destiny's one of the main reasons.
Facts. For sure,
but it's one of the reasons that they did so well this generation.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, at the time,
Destiny, you're giving Destiny that responsibility.
Remember that Destiny at the time was not dropping big games yet.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Of course, yeah, because they weren't dropping games yet. So it's like Microsoft is really not dropping like big first party games. So why don't you take a page out of what Sony did at the beginning of the generation and lock up content and lock up some of the marketing deals for these big games? See, like Red Dead got away. You know, that's on Sony right now.
Remember, is not only did they have the exclusive rights to the marketing
and the exclusive content
with that, they wouldn't even let Microsoft promote it in any sort of way.
Nope.
Correct, man.
They tricked people into thinking that game was exclusive. Yeah. And I know a couple people that legitimately thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but their marketing deal with Destiny was pretty scummy. That was pretty scummy. With what they have, the workarounds they had to do just to be like, all right, this game is on our platform. But
I agree. I don't like those deals. I think that content should come day in and day out for every console.
Yeah, I don't like where stuff we have to get like withheld. See, you know, it's one thing about time. I don't mind a timed exclusive, like a game being not available on the platform. But I hate getting the same game and then be like, oh, well, we give this platform this much stuff that this platform won't get at all. And I'm like, or we can withhold it, because what they did with Destiny is they withheld content, and didn't they mess around and delayed it, right? Like when they extend it when it was finally supposed to come to Xbox, the stuff from Destiny 1. By the time they delayed it, Destiny 2 was about ready to come out.
Destiny 2 came out, right?
That last piece of content on Destiny 1, it was a 1 year wait before it hit Xbox.
Yeah.
And again, that's mind share. That's mind share, like with the consumer. If you're a Destiny fan, are you going to buy it on Xbox or are you going to buy it on PlayStation? It is what it is.
Yeah. True.
So,
I burned myself
they need to go back on
some. Year.
I did too. Yeah. I did too. They got me twice, so I'm real dumb.
And I bought the $90 version.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I got the game. Oh my god! I don't even want to talk about it.
I bought it because they got me with it's gonna be this epic story and this, that, or the other, and I bought into that bullshit.
The story in 2 was better than 1, but
it was
a lot of the same thing, you know. And my biggest gripe with Destiny has always been, I don't care if it's 30, but for competitive multiplayer, I want 60. I don't want 30 competitive multiplayer.
It's a 30 frames per second game, bro. It is what it is, bro.
It is.
For a
shooter,
here's my problem. I don't have a problem with it being 30 seconds or 30 frames, right? But me competing against other people Drop that resolution. Give me 60. I want
Facts.
60 when I'm competing. Competing
Facts.
is a totally different.
But
me
the
playing
thing
with
is, you
somebody,
guys are all on the even playing field. You all playing at 30 frames per second, so it's not like.
Yeah, I know, but I just think 60 is just when you're competing in.
Feels right.
And Destiny's kind of a, in a sense, it's kind of a twitchy based shooter.
It's not. It's
No,
old school Halo shooting. It's far from.
Nah,
it's far from twitchy. It's
Yeah,
slow.
I mean, it's not like Call of Duty, that's for sure.
It's not like Call of Duty, but it's closer to Halo, but it's not like Call of Duty.
It's not twitchy based at all.
It has that twitchiness in there. It really
I've played more
feels like
Destiny than all of you combined.
Probably,
I don't know
probably
about
have. I dropped Destiny real fast.
No, Addict got some serious time in Destiny. I've only played enough to beat the base game, and that's it.
I mean, I can never get into the Destiny PvP because of what Friday said. Because of 30 frames, I just can't do it.
I got into a hardcore, and that was my biggest gripe. That 30, like Destiny 1, I got into it hard. I mean, I played that game for, oh my gosh, years, and I was like, what am I wasting my time on? But in Destiny 2, I played it for probably a good, I don't know.
I think I played it for 2-3 weeks and I dropped it.
I played it for about a good I'll say 3-4, about 3 or 4 months.
I didn't even beat the main story in Destiny 2. I didn't even get that far.
Oh wow, no,
I didn't even get that far, man. I didn't even get that far.
It was fairly short. I mean,
yeah.
I was just more concerned with the raids.
I just didn't like how Destiny treated achievements. They freaking didn't want to reward you with nothing. Beat the whole game and got one achievement for it. Like,
hey,
really?
Smooth boy, he sees a game, he's looking at that achievement list, man.
No, I feel like I need to be rewarded when I'm playing. If I'm going to give you my hours and to get into, I want to get something out of it. I want something to show for it. If I have nothing to show for it, I feel like, well, damn. Even though
since I like multiplayer games like so much, the multiplayer aspect so much, especially last generation. Like last generation, I spent almost the entire time playing like Call of Duty and shit like that. I never became an achievement hunter. Yeah, I was one of those, bro.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna lie. Last gen, I played multiplayer more than anything. I didn't play single player
more than anything
like that. Yeah, but I don't know what happened over there. I think I realized I suck, and then I just scaled back and I was like, all right, these are the
you be
games.
Bloodborne, bro. You be Bloodborne.
Single player experience. It's
not a single player experience. You were only allowed to play a single player.
I mean, the multiplayer is tacked on. It's not a real multiplayer experience.
The multiplayer is the main component to most Souls games.
Yeah,
the way that they play, the way that the Souls games play, they don't seem like natural driven multiplayer games. They seem like
every
it's just
Souls
added
game
on.
has multiplayer.
They have them, but they just don't sit. They don't feel natural. Like when I did Dark Souls 3, it did not feel like a natural. Like this was meant for co-op. It does not feel like for example, Ashen and Cold Vein were built to have built around co-op. I feel like Bloodborne and Dark Souls was just like you can do it, but it wasn't feel like it wasn't built around it or built to promote you to do it at all.
Have you done co-op in Far Cry 5 yet or not?
I haven't. I've not yet.
It's right, man. It's pretty right.
You got to play more Souls games. You'll realize the multiplayer is a very strong component.
It might be a strong component. It just doesn't seem like it's built around it. It just seems like
pay the bills. Smooth, pay the bills.
Oh yeah. Wait, how were we able to? Hold on.
You gotta pay the bills, man.
Shout out to Delane the King. Shout out to we will get a 4K patch for Dying Light. We should. I don't know why we don't have one yet. But shout out to Delane the King. We got the update.
That's an old game.
Yeah, but they coming out with an update though.
Red Dead's an old game.
Yeah, very old game. Yeah, thank you, Addict. Gears of War 2.
I mean, no, I'm just saying,
Gears of War 2 is 10 years old. Like,
Gears of War 2 looks good on the X.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm actually about to go back and play that shit. That was my favorite Gears.
Red Dead.
Do you think they did the Red Dead because of the perception of Red Dead 2 coming out? Because, you know, some things aren't by accident. Dying Light, it's just like, that's a pretty old game. I couldn't see them, like, maybe it happened, but there's no rush to do it. Red Dead seems like, okay, we purposely did this because...
No, that was on purpose. Totally.
Of course, yeah.
That was totally on purpose.
Look, we got God of War coming out pretty soon in a couple of weeks. We got Red Dead coming on the horizon at the end of the year. That was it. Come on now. If you think any of this thing is by accident, and somebody in the chat said the multiplayer and what's name is tacked on. All I want to know is if that person actually played Souls games and they beat them or played them with any of their friends. Because a lot of times people will say things and, if Microsoft is smart,
They'll call Rockstar and they'll be like, "Hey, how much money we got to put up for you to patch GTA 5 for 4K on the X?" That's what they need to do. Yeah, shout out to Luca, man. Shout out to Luca in the chat, man. So yeah, man, they need to pony up some money and patch GTA 5, man. In fact, I think Rand, you were on that podcast, right, Smooth? Yeah. Rand, when there's somebody had mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, the fact they haven't made that call yet.
But just to guess what? Oh, were we talking about this? Were we talking about this before? The only place you can play Red Dead Redemption in 4K is on an Xbox One X. You can't do it on PC because it doesn't exist there. And obviously, if you want to play it on PlayStation, you have to do it through PlayStation Now, which good luck, or you have to go boot up your PS3. So just throwing it out there.
PlayStation Now 540p at 20 frames per second, man.
But hey, just want to give a quick plug. Shout out to the 102, 103 people watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. If you want to see Kid Smooth dance, you got to hit that super chat up. That's what you saw just a moment ago. But please feel free, ask your questions, subscribe if you're not subscribed, hit the like button. And
shout out to the finest in the chat too, bro. Shout out to
the finest. And but
most definitely.
What else was there? I feel like what else happened this week?
A lot of stuff.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about that I know Jazz is going to be upset about that he wanted to talk about.
That's why I didn't want to talk about State of Decay 2 because I want Jazz to give us his play-by-play. I know he played it. He played it.
There was what else that happened news-wise?
The original games on Xbox coming.
Oh, the Division patch is coming next week, I think, right?
The Division patch. Oh yeah, 4K. For next. Oh yeah, that's next.
Yeah, week. Another game.
There is.
It's like Rev said, man. Now it's official. Now you can't say you don't need an X.
Yeah, here's the thing. Let's talk about the thing is a lot of people every time, and I don't understand why people waste their breath doing this, but every time there's a batch of games of original Xbox games or Xbox 360 that's announced for backwards compatible, people shame it. I don't understand why they're shaming the ability to play the game. And not only that, I'm like, all right, wow, the games are old. But if you're gonna upgrade my games for me, like I feel like, wow, I'm getting a free remaster. Shouts out to the Raven Flow, $2 donation.
I think it's just a perception of what's coming out on the horizon between these two big companies. You have Sony coming out with new first-party IPs, and you have Microsoft saying, "Hey, here's some original Xbox games." And here's some games we did in 4K and up-res them. And I think it's really the perception, especially with the hardcore people that are here in the YouTube world that watch this. It's the perception that, you guys are doing this and it may be cool, but we want games. We want original IPs. We want if you're gonna give us something, give us a remake. Give us a full remake, like when. And I think that's not bad. It can never be bad for the community to do backward compatibility. It's cool, but I just really wonder in a hindsight of how many people are really taking that and they're really running with these games and they're really going back and playing these games.
See, I don't even think that's the big deal. It's the fact that you can and that there's an option and the fact that they run better than they did when they originally released. It's like anybody can remaster a game and give it a resolution boost and it's like, here you go, $39.99, and people be like, you know what I mean?
I'm talking about remake. There's a lot of Sony games that are coming out remakes.
Believe it or not, there's not that many remakes that's out there. I mean, we haven't gotten that many remakes. I mean, it's cool when we get a complete remake. That's different. But I'm talking about they sell more remasters than remakes. I mean, like that's what I'm talking about. Is the fact that you don't really have to remaster a game for Xbox. Like I didn't understand why a Burnout Revenge remaster came out when they could have it's backwards compatible. They could have just applied the patch and called it a day.
With that said, now I'm just talking about the first party, not third party. I'm talking about the first party studios because Microsoft, to me, when they did the Master Chief Collection, I thought that was really smart. But the only thing they really seemed to do, it gave it a kind of a resolution bump, and that was cool. Don't get me wrong. And then the CGs for Halo 2 were cool. But I know a lot of people would prefer the remake of those games. People would have really
Like they did the original Gears of War.
Yeah. People would have really preferred. If you ask most people, I'm pretty sure they would have preferred that. They would have bought those games remade. Fable remade. Like, it's cool that you can play the games backward compatible.
We're gonna make it for the third time. Like,
no, I'm talking about.
You know what though? Like what you were saying, Frog.
I'm talking about.
Because I know Xbox has been doing a lot of back compat and these 4K patches and this, that, or the other. And I was having this conversation with somebody at work actually, right? And I said, because the X, the resolution box, whatever the case may be. I'm like, can you imagine if Microsoft, obviously with the first party game problem that they have right now, if they never had the X, if they were still on the original like OG Xbox One or just the S, imagine what would happen in the media if the X didn't exist. Just imagine, just think about it for a second.
It'd be just as bad.
No, I think it'd be worse because right now
there's no X. Come on, the X was really
yeah, bro. That was Microsoft's answer to okay, we don't got games, but we're gonna give you the best box to play third-party games. That's really what the X was for.
Hold on, but there's a comment. I always comment when people say that the best place to play third-party games. The X is not really the best place to play third-party games. It's still the original PlayStation, because when you talk about the people who own these consoles, the majority of people don't own X's. The majority of people own S's and original.
Wait.
Hold on, wait. Let me finish.
You can't manipulate that by the number of people.
Let me finish my statement.
Okay, but okay.
The majority of people on Microsoft and Sony own the vanilla systems. Okay. So the PlayStation is still the best place to play games.
That is
wrong.
Yes,
it is.
You just said
it's still the best.
No.
When I'm talking about the market of just, it's the same family, right? You can say the X is the best place to play third-party games, but when you look at the market of PlayStation and you look at the market of Xbox and you look at where the games are going to run the best, obviously they're going to run better on a vanilla PlayStation still to this day than they are X. So when people say the best place to play games, the casual market is not looking at that. The casual market doesn't care. We care about that stuff. So when we speak and we say that stuff, we're talking about the hardcore market is saying that. The casual market, that's the biggest market out here. The casual market only cares.
But that's all,
and that's why I'm saying it's still going to be the vanilla PlayStation.
No, it's not. That's alternative facts. The thing is, you just said you're trying to argue that the vanilla PlayStation is the best place to play games because majority people have vanilla consoles. That doesn't mean that the Xbox One X doesn't exist. The Xbox One X would still be the de facto if they choose to go that way. No, but you're saying it's still the vanilla because majority people owns the vanilla, but that's not the fact that we're making. We're not saying majority people are playing the best way, and that's on the X. No, sure, there's still a lot of people that didn't buy the X or the Pro, but to say that the X, to say that the vanilla PlayStation is the best place to play, that's not true.
How is that not true?
Because it's not. There's other options that already proved there. The most people are playing on vanilla PlayStation doesn't mean that's the best place where the games are the best place to play. Just because majority of people are
that's
playing
where the market's at.
Dude, the vanilla PlayStation's 5 years old.
Let me.
How does it make? How does
you misunderstand what I'm saying?
No, because you're looking at the number of people that own the vanilla consoles, and you're ignoring the fact that the X exists, and you want to say because people.
I'm not ignoring the fact that the X exists.
But you're saying because more people own vanillas, you're saying that's the best place to play.
Let me put it to you this way: what Xboxes do HDR?
Xbox One S and X.
The S and the X.
S and X. Do you think the S has outsold the vanilla Xbox?
That has nothing to do about being the best place to play.
I'm just asking the question. Do you think the S has outsold the vanilla Xbox?
The vanilla Xbox One? I think the S probably has at this point. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
The original Xbox.
So my whole point is, can you do HDR on all your Xbox consoles? No,
what does that make? I don't understand how that's being the best place. There's still a console that exists. When a casual person walks in the store, because you're speaking from the hardcore perspective.
No, I'm speaking from the consumer casual person.
I'm speaking for the perspective that there's an absolute best console to play third-party games on. That exists,
and the absolute best console, and the absolute best place to play will still be the vanilla PlayStation 4. When a mom or dad walks in the store and they're casual. you're speaking from the hardcore. I think you're misunderstanding. You're speaking from the hardcore audience. Most people are not on YouTube watching us. When you're talking about us, of course,
I'm not talking about anybody. We're talking about facts.
But
there's an Xbox One. There's a PlayStation 4. There's an Xbox One S. There's a PlayStation 4 Pro. There's an Xbox One X. There's something's clearly better. Like how is it that just because majority of people are playing on the weakest version means that's like saying the Xbox 360 is the best platform to play games on compared to Xbox One. Right?
I don't even know why that came in. It's not
because you're saying more people because more people own the vanilla console.
We're talking about this. You're taking it to a whole extreme.
No, you're taking it to a whole extreme.
No, I'm not.
You're saying why is the vanilla explain this. Why is the vanilla, without the number of people who own the vanilla, why is the vanilla PlayStation the best console to play on out of the Xbox One X, the PlayStation 4 Pro, and the regular Xbox One? Please, I want to hear how is this your logic?
The majority, and it is my logic, the majority of games perform better on a base PlayStation 4 than they still do the regular Xbox.
That's not the case. There's a console that plays. Oh my god!
Majority of the console that is sold. That's what
I see what both of you guys are saying, but I'll rephrase what I was trying to say.
When you walk into a store, people aren't worried. Look, let me tell you this, Smooth. I guarantee you this: with the casual consumer that goes out there and buy a game, they're not worried about an X. They're not worried about a Pro. When they go to buy an Xbox, they're looking at the S. They're looking at the Slim. When those games, when they come back and people start telling you, well, this game, most of the games are going to run at 1080p, and some of these games may run at 1080p, but some can run. But the bottom line is, no matter how you look at it, with the install base, the user install, more people own S's and day one Xboxes, and more people own vanilla PlayStations and Slims than they do X and Pros. So the best place still is going to be
hold on. Let's be real.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. Hold on. Now, are the casual consumer, are they really out there saying that a 900p game looks better?
Always make the casual.
No, they're not. But they're going with what's popular. So they're still going to buy the Slim. They're still buying the Slim. That's why the Slim is freaking so close to freaking 80 million and beyond now. That's the most popular console
to play the platform on.
No.
It's still going to be the Slim.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is this. If you walk into
PAX, like I don't understand.
Correct.
If you walk into a store and you just want to buy a console, kidding, you're not a gamer yourself. Say you don't know anything about games, you're gonna go most popular. You're gonna buy a PlayStation 4 Slim. That's what you're gonna buy.
Probably.
Let's be real. Let's stop acting like that's not true.
GameStop convinces you to buy.
You're gonna buy. No, it didn't even have to be GameStop.
Exactly.
You're gonna buy a PlayStation 4 Slim. You're gonna go with what's most popular. The perception is that.
If you walk into a gaming store right now,
they're not even don't even use gaming store. Just use consumer basis. Just use all stores as an instance. Perception is PlayStation is the hotness.
Your narrative. Okay, got you. I'm done.
PlayStation. I see what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
No, this is what I'm saying. Microsoft has given the consumer the option to play third-party games at the best option from a console perspective. If the X didn't exist, imagine what would happen in the media with what's going on with first party and all that stuff that we've talked about before. But that's what I'm trying to say.
But when I look at the Microsoft's Xbox X, I always look at the message. The message, and Phil Spencer even said it himself, this console is not for anybody. This is for the hardcore guy. This is for the premium person. Not everybody out there that had an Xbox day one or S upgraded to an X. There's a small majority. It's the same with the Pro. It's a small audience of people. Most people are gonna still buy the S or they're gonna buy the Slim. So that no matter how you look at it, the Slim is still the PlayStation 4 is still the most powerful console as far as when you're talking about. No.
You're eliminating logic, dude.
How about for the customer that just went out and bought a brand new Sony 9D television?
Let me talk. You've been talking all damn night. Let me talk.
Go ahead.
You are confusing convenience with legit facts. I don't understand how you can literally go against what the hard drive is capable of doing to a convenience of walking into a store and just buying something and walking out. Yes, the PlayStation and the Xbox One S have the most copies. No one is debating that shit. We are debating on what is the best place to play a game Period. Doesn't matter if you're casual. Doesn't matter if you're.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
That doesn't change the fact which console's
Let me ask
powerful.
you this question. So let me ask you.
Hold on.
So let me ask you this question.
And it completely debunks your whole theory.
Hold on. So let me ask you this question. So you said doesn't matter if you're casual or hard. So would you say the majority of
hold up. If you're a casual and you walk into a place and you buy an Xbox One X and you take that shit home, is it gonna play exactly like a regular Xbox One?
See, no. You just said it doesn't matter. You said it doesn't matter if you're casual or hardcore. The majority of the game audience
exact same way, regardless who you are.
The majority of the game audience is casual. They're not hardcore.
All right, so let me ask you this question: how about you walk into Best Buy?
An X. I know plenty of people that play Madden that have an X.
Yeah.
See, you're talking
I'm
about
just saying, if you walked into Best Buy and you bought a brand new $2,000 4K television, right, and you're gonna turn around and buy a console, you're gonna buy the base level of the PS4 or the Xbox.
No, you're gonna buy. What you're gonna probably do is you're gonna buy what's most popular in the market.
I just
I
don't understand how Frog literally sells the idea that just because he eliminates the option for that customer, he eliminates the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro, and like, okay, the PlayStation 4 is the best place to play games because right now the X and the Pro doesn't matter. I think that's the dumbest logic to put. Because they exist. They exist.
Here's the logic.
The statement is that Xbox One X is the best place to play your third-party games. You're trying to eliminate that by saying, well, what if the person's only deciding between the base consoles? I'm like, what?
No, what I'm saying is the majority of the audience is casual. I think you guys are missing.
I know
the majority of the audience is casual. They're not hardcore. The majority of people who play games are casual.
What does that matter of the consoles that are available?
The majority of toddlers walking around a fucking room.
What's Jazz thing? What's Jazz thing? I want to know what Jazz thing.
I'm just hearing people yelling, yo, what's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up, Jazz?
I'm friggin' freezing. That's why I got my hood on, man.
You finally found me. You finally found me.
Yo, I'm here to hear. I got
it. Tell me Jazz don't look like he's about to launch an anonymous video.
That's right. Yo, wait, I'll take my hood off, but I'm freaking cold right now. I just came from running from outside. Yo, Smooth, I gotta put a leash on his ass because this is the last time I see him since PAX. He's freaking like a ghost. And he was like, I was looking at the Astro booth. I turned around and he was gone. Gone. Like, yo, it was like, yo, man, he was gone. And I did not find him ever again. And I see him here. But yo, we had a good time at PAX, so I know you guys are yelling about this thing, but PAX, man, that was fun.
Yeah, we were waiting until you get here to talk more in detail about PAX.
Oh yeah, well, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so you missed like the first hour and a half of the podcast to go run, really?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, shout out to the chat, y'all are on it, y'all understand.
All right, yo, so let's go. Okay, so you lose the statement that the Xbox X is the best place to play multiplats. Is that what it was?
Right.
Yeah, shout out to the Raven Flow. I'm sorry, hold on. I have to give a shout out, pay this bill right quick. The Raven Flow say, was the OG Xbox the best place to play?
Was the OG Xbox? You mean it was the best place to play?
I'm guessing. I'm assuming the 2001 Xbox.
Well, it wasn't because it didn't get half the games that the PlayStation got. So if it did, yeah.
Let's not fight it. I don't want to turn that into what was the better choice.
I have no clue back then. All right, so this thing. All right, so I heard. So Frog says that the PlayStation regular vanilla is the best place to play games right now.
Still to this point, as far as the casual market, what I'm saying is
third-party multiplayer.
The majority of
hardcore. We're talking about playing games in general.
Playing games in general is casual. People that play games are mostly casual. They're not hardcore.
All right, we got to pay the bill.
All right, so this is what
I'm mistaken the best.
Let me ask you this question. So, what would you say?
We got to pay the bill right quick. We got to pay the bill. Bless Red, this is for you, Frog. Bless Red says, Frog is arguing the casual argument while trying to make best place to play argument, which doesn't make sense because it's not a part of the statement. The statement is the Xbox One X is the best place to play third-party games, right? That's the statement. And I said, no, it's not. It's not. Because
you're telling me to play with the most popular place to play.
What I'm talking about, the best place to play is still not the Xbox One X. You
All right,
can
how about a game like Far
Let me
Cry?
tell you
Which
this.
is
Why?
a single story game.
Hold on.
Hold on. The vanilla.
You can promote that all. You
The
can promote
vanilla
that all you want.
PlayStation could play it at 4K then, right? Okay. Okay. Is that what's going on?
Oh man, you guys are come on,
Yo,
man.
yo,
Stop
man,
being stop.
Performance
You
is the
guys
best
are
play to
being
Pay the bill. Pay the bill.
So, yeah, pay the bill.
Another bill.
Pay the bill.
All right, it's reading. I gotta let the music play. Delane the King says, "I'm a casual and I got an X in the PS4 Pro. Frog wrong." So he's one casual.
My
and got an
opinion on the
X.
thing is that
Opinion is no casuals have it pretty much. That's literally what you've been arguing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Did you
the
hear me
X
say
is,
that?
I have to say, the X
didn't know
is the
that.
best place to play the
What
multi-plat games
I
because they
didn't say
run
that.
better on that. Now, is the value there? I think for the best value, if you're looking for the best place to play the games, that's the X, and the X is the best place to play the multi-plats, like because they run the best on that system. I don't know about performance wise, like I would prefer better frame rates on the certain things, but it seems that the resolution battle definitely is the better place to play for the value. But I do think if you were just going in as a casual and saying like, I want the place that just gives me the best value for that, and I just want the whole hum one, the PlayStation Slim is the best value because I don't think the X1S the S is that good because it always has been lower, the least powered for the same amount of money as the PlayStation 4. But if you go for the best place to play, that is the X, like for multiplats at least. But if you want the most variety and stuff and like VR and stuff, then you got to toss it up with the Pro. But for the best place to third party, it's definitely, I agree with the other guys. It is the X though.
I'm happy to hear you finally give the Xbox some props.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
What did you say, Smooth?
I said I'm happy to finally hear you give the X some props.
I'm wearing the Xbox colors.
I know that's Under Armour.
If anything has become clear about the X now, like as of late, with the games coming out recently, it seems like developers are getting their hands around it, and more games have consistently been coming out in 4K. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. I'm saying if you want the best looking games on console, right?
It's not debatable. The best place to play a game is on an X.
It's on an X. It's on an X.
I think that's opinionated. The facts are the saturation market is
like I don't. It's opinionated to want to play it on PlayStation.
No, the facts are that when you look at saturation inside the market, you don't see the majority of consoles sold aren't X's and Pros. They're S's and day ones, and they're slim.
I know exactly.
My whole argument, what I'm trying to tell you is the whole best place to play. It's great to throw that narrative out there, but when somebody is going out there to buy a console and they're mostly the majority of the market is casual, how are you going to sell them a $500 console?
Maybe I dropped
Hold on. We are not debating on buying anything. We're debating the best place to play games. Period.
How are you going to sell a $500 console when the 4K TV market isn't even saturated? You can't. They're going to buy.
It's getting there, though. It's getting there.
So my whole thing
is clearly not going.
All right, let's move the topic on. Let's move the topic on.
I think I'm misunderstanding.
Let's talk about PAX. Can I talk about PAX?
Yeah, let's talk about PAX, Jazz, because we're missing
PAX.
your opinion, bro. But before we talk about that, Rossetti is about to hit us with a donation.
Oh, the bills came in.
Rossetti, we're gonna let the music play before we announce this.
What's this music?
It's Can I Get That Ass Right Now? Can I get that ass?
He's running Streamlabs.
Do you sing it or?
Kids Mood low key's been upgrading his channel. I don't know. You guys know. Putting in that work, bro. Kids Mood doing overtime.
Shout out to Rossetti. He says, graphic wise, the One X is the best place to play third party. Sales or population wise, it's the PS4. Okay.
Okay, maybe he broke it down better for me.
Right.
Damn, Frog, that's all you've been trying to say this whole time?
That's what I was basically saying, yeah. But like, and then Ravenflow, he has a good point. Smooth, make the music play for Ravenflow.
The music's playing.
All right.
There you go. There you go.
All right. All right, so the Ravenflow said the best place to play games has the most games. All right, stop it. All right, wait, stop. I'm so tired of this conversation.
But the ones we do got play better on the X, though, damn it.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Like I'm like with Far Cry and stuff like that. Like those games all running better.
I guess the best place to play games is Steam.
Hey, Far Cry looks amazing on the X. I'm not gonna lie, it does. It really does.
Oh, somebody says lose the music.
I can't lose.
I don't hear any music.
No, you guys, you'll hear it on the playback when it comes back. When you watch it, if you watch it.
I'll give you my feedback.
All right, Jess. I got the picture up for our only 5 minutes together at PAX.
Yes, it was a fun 5 minutes though, man. It was a fun 5 minutes, and we didn't know what the hell was going on in that Facebook booth.
Yeah.
I was looking at Smooth, and then I was turning like this. First of all, we were posing like this, and the guy's like, "It's a boomerang video."
Oh yeah, so he's like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah, like, what the hell's that mean? He's like, "Oh, it's one of those things." I'm like, "Oh, okay, so it's one of those deals." But yeah, but we did go. We felt the power of the cloud, the Facebook cloud.
Yeah.
And then we ran around, and we got the rare picture of like a video of Major Nelson.
Major Nelson, dog.
He was in the mixer booth. He just left, and it was hilarious. When he came down the mixer booth, he like looked left and right, and I saw the pathway coming right to us. I'm like, yo, if he comes this way, he's gonna come right to us, man. Comes right to us, and then some girl starts talking to him about like something else, and we're like in front of him, like, hey, and he shook Smooth's hand.
Yeah, shook my hand. And I joked about the right glove treatment. I joked with him about the glove treatment. Shout out to Rossetti. He said, "I'm also drunk, by the way," and he did get the music playing while we were talking. So,
all right, well, you gotta use the $2. Go buy a beer.
No, I gotta pay you back for that charge. You allowed me to fully charge my battery.
yeah, you took my charge. But yeah, so last year when I met Major Nelson, I like put my hand out to shake his hand, and he's like, "No, man, fist bump," and because they think we're all like have disease and stuff. So, they don't shake hands. And like when he says his podcast, when he does his podcast, he's like, "Yo, if you see me at PAX, fist bumps." Like when we because they don't want to shake hands. I was real surprised that he shook your hand, Smooth. You must think that you're
probably a germaphobe. He's probably
he's a germaphobe.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
But me and Major Nelson, we got history. Last year I met him for the first, not last year, 3 years ago I met him for the first time at PAX, and then again at E3, and then at PAX again. So hopefully I got this memorable face.
That's it. Yeah, he probably saw you.
Hit him with the business card, bro.
On the down low, I'm pretty sure Major Nelson knows who you are. Like on the down low.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. When I first met him at PAX, I called him the best spot. He gave me this look. I don't know if he knew what it meant. But
so anyway, we did our video, run around. That was pretty cool. But so for hands-on time, like we did tour the Xbox booth. I waited the next day when Smooth was on the bus heading back home. I was like, "Smooth, where are you?" He's like, "I'm on the bus heading home. I saw it."
Oh yeah, that was funny.
So Saturday he was gone. Yeah, you saw that in the DMs. Like Saturday he was gone. So I was like, I'm gonna wait on the State of Decay line, So I waited there. They said, it's going to be over an hour. So I was like, I got to play this game. So I waited over an hour, stood on the line, saw the hype crew, from that demo reel from yesterday. Like they were trying to get people hyped up. It was funny. Like, they go, say hi, go crazy. And they like videotape them for B-roll. And then, we get to I get to the thing and I'm watching the game. The game looked really good. Like, it looks sharp. I think the videos that we see over YouTube and stuff doesn't do the game justice. Like it looks sharp. Now, whether it was running on the X, I don't know. It had X's there, but it did look like that some sort of PC thing underneath. I don't know what that was. I took a picture of it. It was like a graphics
told me on the displays they're all running on the X's.
Okay, because there was something underneath. It looked like a processor board, but yeah, the X's were there, and I got to play it, and it runs really smooth. Like it definitely runs. Really smooth. There was some hiccups, like when I was inside one of the houses, like a bunch of like five or six zombies came after me. There was a hiccup, but again, the game's in development. But I thought that the physics of it were really good. Like when I hit the zombie with my car and he flipped into my pickup truck, and then he was just like flapping around dead in the back of the pickup truck as I was driving. And the impact from the melee weapons, I think, is a lot better because the first game was very kind of canned and they will kind of look like they were missing frames. This one looked like they were really hitting, and it was visceral. Like I didn't mind meleeing people, and the gun was much tighter. The only criticism of the whole thing was like I wish they had more kiosks there. They had a whole bunch for PUBG, and I gotta tell you one thing though: State of Decay 2 next to PUBG. PUBG looks like a friggin' mobile game. I'll tell you that, man. Holy
hell,
crap,
PUBG looks worse than what DayZ looks better than PUBG.
You're right. Yeah, I know. DayZ looked better than PUBG. Looks so bad there. I am like, what the hell's going on? But State of Decay 2 looks so good, but it was sharp And it also, too, the other thing I wanted to mention about it is that the physics of the cloth on some of the zombies was like flapping around. There was even, I think there was intestines hanging out of one of them that was like actually flapping around too.
Nice.
Like it was really cool. Like the driving was really good, and I think it's going to be really fun. And that was just running around shooting stuff. Now, the one thing that I wanted to find out was that it seems like it was definitely much more liberal and action oriented than the first game, where you kind of didn't want to attract the horde. Like you wanted to kind of just sneak around, grab some stuff, get back to your base. You didn't want to go around swinging, shooting guns, running people over with cars because it makes so much noise.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That could have been just for the demo. Like I don't know how it's going to work with the 4-player co-op. Like permadeath would really, I think that would cause a lot of kind of people getting pissed off at each other if you make me lose my character because you didn't revive me, and I lose all my stuff. Like I don't know how that is going to work. So, but I thought that was great. And then the rest of the booth, like they had Ashen, like you guys played that. I played some of that. I played with some person that we lost. She just abandoned me. But the biggest problem was finding the lantern, getting into the cave. But that looked pretty cool. And then I didn't play DayZ, or they had some building indie games there. I didn't like it. It didn't attract me. I wasn't interested in that stuff. And then I was in the PlayStation booth a lot. Nintendo booth you couldn't get into, but the PlayStation booth had an open structure, so you could just walk up and play a bunch of games and stuff like that. They had Detroit and a bunch of indies. I got to sneak in some VR there. A good game is Shadow. I know this is planned Xbox, but like Star Child was a cool platform VR game.
Was Detroit playable or not?
What was that?
They had a demo for Detroit?
It was. Detroit, they had.
It's the same demo they've been showing for the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's the same one with the girl on the rooftop. Okay. But what was interesting about it was that they had about 30 so stations of it. And it was interesting walking by and seeing how people are choosing different stuff. And I saw about 3 or 4 different types of endings to that thing. So it was pretty cool seeing that in action, like that. It wasn't like the same canned kind of, just people choosing different things and having the same ending. Like I saw about 3 or 4 endings
with different outcomes.
And then what's cool is that it goes back and it shows you like a decision tree, and it shows you like the 7 different final outcomes and how you could get it through, like almost like a decision tree on how it works. So that was pretty cool to show you
doing what they do.
Hey, what game will you be playing on May 25th? State of Decay 2 or Detroit?
I'm gonna be playing both of them.
You safer. You safer.
No, I will be playing both of them because I'm gonna tell you right now, State of Decay 2. I was really excited about it, and I think that Microsoft. You don't
like play them both at the same time. Like I'm confused.
Why? I could play both those things. First of all, State of Decay 2 is a really good game to jump in, play, and jump out.
What about day one? What's the first game you boot? State of Decay 2 or Detroit?
If you guys are playing State of Decay 2. I'll play State of Decay 2 first.
Well, we ain't gonna be in no party chat playing Detroit.
That's a fair statement.
I'll play State of Decay 2 first because I'll definitely play that. Detroit is not.
I'll tell you this: I will be buying Detroit, and I'll probably get it early. I'll buy it. You know what I mean? Hopefully, I like it. I take my chances with a game like that. Like I took my chance with like Until Dawn.
And that game is kind of one of those games, that like it's basically like you could start it whenever. Like it's not like you're gonna miss the boat. Like see, State of Decay 2, I want. Everybody's gonna be hyped. Like online game is gonna want that online kind of everybody jumping on. So that's why I'll probably play that first because I don't want to have the Sea of Thieves problem where everybody plays day 1 and day 2, and then you say, "Oh, I finished Detroit, I'm ready to play," and then it's like open seas, nobody's playing anymore.
Even though State of Decay 2, I think is gonna have a lot better legs.
Definitely. The base building. I really want to know how the drop-in, drop-out co-op works. And the biggest disappointment I had was just that they didn't have a Major Nelson podcast there. And usually, I was mentioning this before on on my channel, was basically I was saying that he used to highlight a developer at each of his podcasts, and like he had Elverwatch one time, he had Ken Levine there for BioShock. Like this would have been a great opportunity to have Undead Labs there and kind of ask them some questions and things like that.
We're gonna have Undead Labs on in the future, so we get to do that.
We're
gonna get to do that.
We don't need a Major Nelson podcast. We got our own.
We got the best spot in Planet Xbox to do that. So,
Major Nelson starts shaking hands. Maybe we'll let him on Planet Xbox.
I'm gonna get the white glove trim. I forgot. My next unbox, I'm gonna do a white gloves on.
So what's the release date for State of Decay?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's right. But yeah,
what's the release date for State of Decay?
It's May 20 something. It's like it's right next to Detroit. I know they're like in the same week.
I'm gonna pre-order that bad boy.
Why do you guys think that they didn't spend that time that they spent with, let's say, Sea of Thieves? Why didn't they spend that amount of time on State of Decay that's coming out next month?
They'll probably do it next
They're
month.
gonna do it next month.
I think they'll do next month.
It's gonna be a blowout on May 10th, just like on March 10th or a blowout.
But remember, Sea of Thieves, they were hyping Sea of Thieves forever, though.
You're right.
I think that's what Cycle's trying to say.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree, because actually I was streaming some games on Monday. Shadow of Colossus I was playing because I had that thing wrapped up. But I was saying I was basically saying, like, I was going to hold my opinion on the coverage of State of Decay 2 until we saw Inside Xbox, thinking that maybe he would have some B interview clips and stuff from PAX. And they didn't. They completely ignored. They didn't mention it at all. I couldn't believe it on Inside Xbox.
Yeah,
you know.
I agree. I thought they should have talked about it, like start hyping it already.
Yeah, I know. I would definitely do it.
It's just like for example, and I'll just put this as a contrast. Then we got Sony that they put out their reviews for, God of War reviews are going to be out at 3 a.m. Eastern time.
12 a.m. I'm going to stay up just to see what the people talk about.
No. Supposedly it's 3 a.m. Eastern, 12 a.m. on the West Coast.
Pacific? Oh, damn. Yeah, then I'm going to bed.
It's going to be 3 a.m., so I ain't going to stay up for
that. Oh, man. You know what? I can't wait to see what the online community is going to be like. I know PlayStation fans, it's like waiting on Normandy. Like, everybody's loading up. It's like storming the beach. You got the Xbox at the top, the PlayStation fanboys coming in with their 9s and 10s and 8s and shit. I need somebody to make a meme on that shit.
Like Sony, look at how they hype those games for such a long time. They get the reviews out.
Spider-Man hype too, man. The Spider-Man
I just want to see Microsoft operate in that capacity where they believe the game is going to be that good that they're willing to do something like that. You know what I mean?
And you know what, America, I totally agree, because the thing is like I was doing it during my live impression basically of that Inside Xbox. Like, I felt kind of like why is this so goofy? Like, it feels so goofy. Like, they're trying to create false hype and doing so many interviews. I'm like, just show you, like, just be confident
in the game, man,
and show the games. Like, that was my biggest criticism with Inside Xbox that they had, was like, how do we have so many talking heads in this video? You should be like, yo, here's backwards compatibility. Yo, that dude standing right there over on the Twitter booth, what are you playing, man? Hey, I'm playing Conker's Bad Fur Day again. Well, here, let's see what he's playing. Instead, they got like, here's Michael Ironside. I love Michael Ironside, but man, 30 minutes? Like, gee, they're like talking about forever. And I'm like, if this for Splinter Cell exclusive, and then after that, then they have the community manager talk about Splinter Cell DLC after they talk to Michael Ironside about it. Like, too many interviews. Like, I felt like I was watching the nightly news, like or 2020. Not even the news. The news actually has like highlights and video. This was like 2020, but it felt very goofy. Major Nelson, and what the hell suit is he friggin' wearing?
It was his Easter suit.
I was like, why is this guy wearing romper room shit going on here? I'm like, what the hell is this thing? Yeah, like I just think that, I don't know who it's for again. Like, I just think they need to just say, here's the gameplay, here's the hype, and just run the games, man, and not doing this interviews. Like, I feel like they talk too much. Like
they talk too much.
They gotta get more aggressive. Like, yeah, honestly, they got to get more aggressive. That's just
I agree.
Exactly what it is. I think, like, Phil and crew are just playing patty cake, man. Like,
yeah, I'm like, we don't have time for this, guys. Yeah, we don't.
I'm done with that, bro. I'm done with being the nice guy. Like, it's time for them to ramp it up. That's what I want them to do.
Same thing with the backwards compatibility. Original Xbox games. They're like, here they all are. I'm like, holy crap, here we go. And they're like, oh no, they're going to be trickling out over the next month. I'm like,
hey, that Red Dead in 4K though.
Well, that works. Yeah, the 360 games being immediately on that night was great. But like the Xbox One games, I'm like, wait a second, guys, you're trickling these out on the 12th, on the 17th, on the 20th. Like, just make it all day one. Like, I don't know what the hell. Why? We don't have time for this stuff. Let's get this news out of the way and show us some good stuff, some more stuff. Just keep adding more and more stuff. But from that whole show, I feel like as each one of these Inside Xboxes go by, and I just keep getting, there's just more and more pressure for what E3 needs to be for them.
100%.
I just feel like
a video about that.
They're putting themselves in such a corner with like I don't think they're going to announce anything that could relieve the pressure that people are expecting from E3.
Yeah, it's like I said, the microscope. But the thing is, I feel like we say this shit every year, like, oh, Microsoft need to come out with a bang at E3. It's like it's always the same thing, and I feel like honestly, and people may disagree, but I feel like every year since this gen, I feel like Xbox has had the better E3 showing than everybody else, other than maybe like Ubisoft or something like that. But as far as like between PlayStation and Xbox, as far as E3 showing, watching the conference and what's being announced and what's being showed, I felt like Xbox has always won, but it's either never enough. It's always better than what PlayStation has shown at E3, but it's never enough to bring them over the top. But I feel like we say the same thing every April, May, and June. Oh, Xbox needs to come hard. And then here we go with our predictions, expecting them to do this, that, and the third. And it happens, and either sometimes we're pleased and sometimes we're not pleased enough. And I don't know. That's why it's like, I'm taking this pressure off this whole E3. I'm not going with this wait to E3 thing, because I think it's bogus at this point. And I feel like
this is definitely the biggest E3 that they've had since Xbox launched. This one coming up right now.
I think it is. Like last year, that we thought it was gonna be the big E3 because they had the hardware, and they kind of relied on the hardware announcement.
2 years in a row it's been about hardware. 2 years in a row.
And the year before that, it was the S. I know. Yeah. So
they launched the conference talking about the S.
Yep, they've been relying on hardware the last two to kind of, and then throwing a couple of games in here or there. They really have not shown the roadmap and the big games that we need to hear from them.
Somebody said Sony had a better E3 showing. These people are lying. They don't watch E3.
Oh, Cycle had something. Cycle had something.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yep.
I would agree with Smooth until last year. I feel like since 2013 they've been giving good games, and then last year it just kind of went somewhere.
Are you talking about E3 showings or games?
E3.
E3 showings. I feel like they've had the E3. What was wrong with the E3 showings? Being that
last year.
Last year it was just a bunch of. Last year felt like
last year was bad.
How was it bad? I like
games.
Yeah, they didn't. They were running around saying we announced games, 42 of them, and I'm like, but.
That ain't gonna cut it this year. If they come out with something like that this year, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed after this.
Yeah. But I do agree with you, Smooth. I think that 2013, the one that everybody says that they got trashed on, that Sony had people crying and stuff, they had a better showing of games there. And it wasn't until Sony announced the price of that and did that little video was when they kind of just won the narrative. But they didn't win the narrative with games that year. Nah. They won it with the price.
Hold on, I gotta attack somebody in the freaking chat. Because they keep saying I was at last year. I went to Bethesda's conference, Microsoft, and Sony. I saw them all like in person, so I have the right to say which one was better. And according to you guys, the viewer who were watching streaming, didn't they have like technical issues on like when it was like being streamed or some shit like that?
That was 2015, I think, right?
Yeah, but there was issues last year too. So the thing is that. The thing about Sony's E3 conference that I felt that they did better than Microsoft is the presentation if you were there. Like having bodies hang from the shit, the orchestra shit blasting all in your face. That's, of course, that was second to none. That was the shit.
That's when they had
as far as the stuff I was looking at, I didn't feel like, it was like, okay, this was a nice movie of trailers that I watched. Because that's what but as far, it was like being in an interactive thing. You ever went to like a 4D movie? And or 40, like you went to the aquarium and you go to the movie with your kids and they're splashing water in your face during certain scenes of the movie. It was like that. That's what it felt like to me with Sony's E3. But I don't think what they were actually showing was something I've never seen before. Matter of fact, it seemed like a summary of previous events that they had of the same games that we've seen, with the exception of like Monster Hunter and maybe Shadow of the Colossus. I think was the only things that we haven't really seen prior to that point.
Last year,
last year's E3. That's what I'm referring to. Just a conference.
They had the big what Days Gone. They had a new demo with Days Gone where they were walking through the woods that time.
Yeah.
And they showed it was a different demo. The year before with the PlayStation 4 Pro, I think that one was a little. They cut that one short and they showed Days Gone twice.
2016.
Because I think Microsoft kind of maybe affected them by announcing the Scorpio, and they said, hey, we'll just keep our own private event for the Pro. That one year was a little weak, but I think that was the year they showed Spider-Man, though, wasn't it? 2 years ago? Yeah. It wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago.
Microsoft definitely won 2015. 2015 is the one I think Microsoft.
Yo, that's what they did. Shenmue, which we don't even know what the hell's going on.
Shenmue, they announced a Kickstarter. That shit still hurts.
That was funny.
When I looked at the E3s, I can honestly say I don't think that Microsoft won any of them. To me, I think they did good showings, but I think that Sony had more wow moments. For a lot of the games they showed when they came out.
Can you name a wow moment for each of Sony's E3s for the last 5 years?
I can
Crash Bandicoot. I can think of
Crash Bandicoot. I can think of God of War. I can think of Final Fantasy.
You name like 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. These were the wow moments that won E3.
But the only wow moment that from Xbox was the backwards compatibility.
That's the only wow moment. That's the only wow. Wow. I mean, maybe I watched too many of these E3s.
For me, when I watched the Xbox conferences, even when they were like, "Oh, Scorpio," the problem with me with the Scorpio conference, you announced a brand new console, the S, and then you announced, "Oh, we're coming out with another more powerful console." I was like, "That's stupid as shit."
How was that stupid? Because it didn't. The S ended up going on to sell
but at the time,
it won 3 MVPs in a row.
It was the way they did it. It was the way they here's our new S. We redid the console, and I was like, "Wow, that looks really cool." Oh, but we're coming with a more powerful one. It's like, huh? The messaging, Microsoft's whole messaging, this whole generation.
I don't know how that was a messaging issue. That didn't seem like a problem.
It's always been a
lot of people did criticize that. They're like, you cannibalized the S.
But did it really cannibalize the S?
But no, it didn't. But the messaging at E3 though was
bought an S and then still went out and bought an X and traded their S in. I got plenty of friends who did that.
That's not a problem. I mean, you did what they expected you to do.
Well, nobody knew that at the time.
People who were going to buy the S bought the S. You know what I mean? The S1 was available almost nearly immediately after. It was a month later.
No, it wasn't even a month. It was 3 weeks.
Yeah, but that wasn't the problem with announcing the S. It was they announced the S and immediately after. They were like Project Scorpio.
It wasn't immediately after Project Scorpio.
It was in the same press conference.
Yeah, but it was at the end. It was a little interview of a passion project. They said Project Scorpio. They didn't really give you much details. It was just okay.
My whole thing is they didn't need to do that in that. To me, they didn't need to do that in that conference.
Well, they did it to kind of counter the Pro because they also had VR at the time too.
Right, but I think the messaging was just bad.
How was the messaging bad? I feel like this whole. I think this misconception is people go to Microsoft for 2013 and then just go with this the messaging is bad movement applied to everything. I don't think nothing was wrong. It was the most clear.
Everybody, it was confusing though.
How was it confusing? You had the Xbox One S and they told you about a bigger project that was coming out the year following.
Before. That's why the media, everybody was questioning them, going, "Don't you think that you selling a better console than the one that you just announced? Is that?" They were interviewing them the whole time. It was confusing, and Microsoft was like, "They never did this before. It was a risk." It kind of paid off, but
it paid off. I mean,
it paid off with the S. The S did fly off. Did really sell better than the X. I
just think it was just
it was confusing at the time. Smooth. I think me and you did a podcast after that one.
Did.
And we both agreed to that. I think we both whoa.
I gotta go watch it. I gotta go watch it. We'll see it. And maybe I'm exposed, but I just didn't see where the problem was. I was happy for both announcements.
Let me ask you.
But we were just like, why are they doing this? They should have saved it. What? And I think we're both
in retrospect, though, it really didn't matter that they announced two consoles. It really didn't matter. Honestly, at the end of the day, Xbox's problem has nothing to do with hardware. The hardware and the services is fine. No. It's just the game.
They needed that revision.
Yeah, but back when they were announcing hardware, they had the games. So it was hardware was a problem
in 2015.
Hardware was now. Let's get this straight. Hardware was a problem when Addict. They had games back. They had the games.
They did.
They had no issue with. We weren't having this Xbox has no games conversation back then. Yeah. We were 900p. We were talking 900p. Still, we were talking about inferior multiplats. So that's the shit we were talking about.
Think about it. They had Gears of War Ultimate. They had Tomb Raider. They had Halo 5 all coming out in that one season, the best lineup ever. Which it was actually.
Hey, Black Bond in the chat.
No, ignore Black Bond. Ignore Black Bond. We can't. I'm not recognizing Black Bond.
Let me ask this question because you asked me it, and I can't tell you.
Sony didn't have games in 2015. That's the facts.
I can't tell you year for year, right? But what I can tell you is when I come away from E3, I remember a lot of things from Sony's conference, the big wow moments. Microsoft didn't really have many wow moments.
Let me ask you,
that's what I'm saying. What wow moments to you that Microsoft?
I can name you a ton of wow moments, but before I even, because I have a reaction video for every last 5 E3s I watched, so we can definitely put that up. Maybe you're going into these Xbox and Sony's conference like me a little bit more anticipating. One, you're probably more anticipated Sony because that's the console that you're rocking with this year. I'm more anticipated Xbox. That's the console I was rocking with that for this gen. So it's understandable if you're rocking with that platform and you're anticipating what they're going to announce, you're going to find it easier for you to accept what they show you than what it is something that you're more standoffish against. Same thing with me. PlayStation showed me something. I was like, I've over all the Sony E3s with the exception of the last one that came out of where I was like, oh, cool, that was cool. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, it was all right. It was like, I always felt like personally Xbox had a better showing. You know what it is? There's two different people with two different preferences this gen that have two different outcomes on E3 showings. There's no right or wrong at that point. Like, I can't.
Here's how I look at it, and it's not about the preference of what console I'm
it is
with.
Because
it was. Hold on. It's not about the preference. It's about what did you show me that wowed me. I didn't know about Crash Bandicoot going to Soda's conference when they showed it. I was like, whoa. I didn't know about God of War when they showed it. I was like, whoa. Nobody saw the Final Fantasy remake come in when they showed it. It was like, whoa. When they showed the Last of Us 2 trailer, I was like, whoa. I haven't seen anything on that level from Microsoft to say, wow, I didn't know about this. The only thing I can say is when I saw probably
Titanfall.
No, that wasn't even a wow moment to me. It was just kind of like
a wow moment.
Yeah, but that's just a wow moment. You're not really rocking
the original Titanfall.
For me with Xbox, what wowed me was when I saw the S in the design, I was like, whoa, that's freaking sleek. That's cool. That was a kind of impressive moment to me. But then when they announced, like, right at the end of the show, they're like, oh, we got another more powerful console coming out, and it's going to Project Scorpion. I was like, why talk about that now? Like, you just focus on your S's. Like, they want to try to, like, focus on all these different things. They're like, they don't know what they want to focus on, and I think their messaging has been the problem. Like, I can't tell you problem, but I can't tell you as far as games, and what they show on their stage, anything that has been like, whoa, like, I didn't see that coming. I with Sony, every time. So
you're surprised every time you see Sony conference. Okay. I mean,
what about the PUBG announcement last year? Was there like a huge like when PUBG came on stage? Because I was that a big thing?
He's not a PUBG person to even care.
Nah, PUBG is shit.
I mean, when they came out on stage. No, I'm not saying that wasn't a wow moment.
That game is garbage overall.
It wasn't a wow moment. I'm just saying, was it a wow moment in the arena when they
when they showed HoloLens? Everybody was like, "Oh, HoloLens!" And what happened to
HoloLens? Is
that whole part when they did HoloLens on stage, I was like, "This is boring. Show me games. Show me something I'm going to be playing." They don't. I've not seen anything in any of the.
And they keep rolling out Minecraft every friggin' E3.
Yeah, that pisses me off, man.
I mean, I don't. That's why I think it's the perception of what surprises you. What surprised you from Xbox E3s that you're like, I didn't see this coming. Sony's done that every E3.
I never was surprised at a Sony E3. Like,
so you knew about Crash Bandicoot.
It's not about knowing, but surprise.
Titanfall and backwards compatibility. That's what I mind.
God of War, we didn't see God of War wasn't first shown last year. It's been shown prior to that.
What I'm asking you knew about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man wasn't first shown last year neither. It's been shown before that.
See, you're going by years. I'm talking about overall since this generation started. What has wowed you from?
You're talking about wow, surprise, or shock. Like, it's one thing if I'm shown something new, doesn't mean I'm going to be there. If I'm shown something new, you're saying, so you're telling me like, oh, that I immediately cared about it or liked it. It's like, it doesn't have a wow.
Did the X not wow you when they showed you like what the hardware was gonna do, this, that, or the other, or not?
No. See, he's already fixated on his.
Let me tell you something. Let me hold on.
I'm not gonna sit there and buy into this thing like, Xbox doesn't has never provided like a good E3 because I wasn't wild or something like that.
Hold on, Luca asked me on Twitter this conversation. We and her had a conversation. You were in it too, and she asked the question. She said she couldn't understand I'm gonna read exactly what it says. She said, why would you buy multiplats on your Pro if you have an X? Is it for the best version? It has the best version. If it has the best version of multiplats, if your PlayStation is your preferred platform, why would you even spend money on an X? And my response to that was there's two reasons. The multiplats on the Pro, most of my friends are playing. That's what my friends are playing. And then the multiplats on the Pro versus the X, they're not a drastic difference. People need to stop acting like there's this
what does that have to do with this whole E3 surprise?
Hold on, because you brought it up.
No, I didn't.
No, yes, you did.
How? How did I bring it up?
You just asked me if I was surprised with that.
No, Merc asked you.
Though. I want to know.
Jazz asked you about the specs. I didn't ask that. And
I said no. This is the question. The bottom line is people are acting like this X is so far above and far beyond the Pro. When you're getting games on the PS4 Pro and even on the base PlayStation, they look better than most of the games in the damn Xbox library. We need to stop acting like Look, we just need to stop. Let's be real. What game looks better than Horizon Zero Dawn?
If I get this motherfucking question again,
I'm just saying.
Like it's
from a Microsoft first party studio.
The reason why is because when you have games built for a console that the developer makes for the console, it's going to look the best. Like that's the traditional console.
I just don't get it. Like this whole thing about
it's
the best version of this. I'm like, the game is good. The game is good.
I mean, there's no need to minute the facts, man.
But the fact is, the Xbox. I want Xbox to be better, and I don't want Microsoft to stop the bullshit. Give me games. I don't care about your third-party games and then playing multiplayer, playing better on your X. Because bottom line is, I didn't have an X. I had a day one Xbox. Give me games. Give me good games I can play. I don't care about your third-party games. I can play them wherever I want. The bottom line is give me good games. That's the problem with
you want good first-party games only on Xbox.
Exactly. That's what Sony's been doing.
That ship has sailed, though. 2 years ago, that ship has sailed.
Sony's been doing that whole generation. Oh, man. Why do you think there's so many people pissed when Sony announces a game? This is what you see. Sony announced a game, and especially on Twitter.
You don't want that though, man. You don't want.
How can you not want that? How can you?
I never said I didn't want. I'm just asking. I'm just asking them. I don't have a. Me personally, like I said, I don't look at games really like that. I'm just, like I really don't.
From the Xbox people from one narrative to the next. Now it's the best place to play multiplayer. It's like stop fucking playing. Like we need to be real with ourselves. Give me
because nobody never told me that games run better on PlayStation a couple years ago.
Everybody know they ran better on PlayStation. Everybody knew.
Oh, but now we're gonna now that the Xbox One X is out, we don't care. We don't need to talk about that.
Xbox One X, you're paying extra $100 to make it look like
everybody knew the games ran better on the PlayStation versus the Xbox.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm just saying. But we're gonna pretend that nobody cared or ran with that idea.
But just like last generation, everybody knew they ran better on 360 than they did PS3. It's the same reason I prefer the 360 over the PS3. The games ran better. So this generation, why has the narrative changed from last generation to now? The console, the Xbox One, when it originally came out, it wasn't the better console. Why are people acting like, oh, it was still the same level? No, it wasn't. Just like the 360 and the PS3. The 360 was a better console, hands down, than the PS3. Let's be real.
Rossetti says it.
All the games ran better. So like, why is this narrative changing this generation?
I don't think there's a narrative change. I think
there's a narrative change. And the narrative
get
change
on there.
is
business.
The narrative change is this, and this is the
here's the thing. Here's the truth. There's no truth. I feel like this is. No,
this is the truth. Microsoft install base has never been.
Says I have a Pro and an X1. I don't care what's true 4K and what's 4K checkerboarding. Thank you. Yes. Both look better than what I'm used to as a console gamer. And you want to know what? True. That's right. Because you know what? It does look good. It looks better than what we got.
You guys are literally like the Antichrist of Xbox. I swear to God.
What? No, how the hell? It's talking about
how the hell?
You have a freaking memo just to be like, how can I be completely have a problem with everything presented? No, not you, Jess. Not you today, Jess. This is gonna be you next week.
Not today.
Yeah, not today.
Microsoft has been, Xbox has been bad this generation. I'm not gonna
bad. What's bad? What's bad?
I'm not gonna put shit on sugar and act like it's a great meal. Last generation, the PC was a better console than the PlayStation.
Listen, all right, who's Super Chat's gonna quote that?
Why are you acting like Why are we acting like one? Like, oh, I like one better than the other. This generation is PlayStation. Last generation, it was Xbox.
No, there's no denying that. But I know where Smooth is coming from. I remember.
Like, I'm just confused. Like, why are we
2014
like,
and 2015, people were like, "Oh, this game is 900p on Xbox and 1080 on PS4." Like, if that was, was really a major difference.
No,
you know
that
what I mean?
wasn't for me. That wasn't a major difference. I was playing with my friends weren't. And most of 360 to PS4. That's where most of my friends went.
Right.
The user install base for Xbox has never been as big as last generation and never will again. We need to get that in our heads. PlayStation has dominated.
I don't think that really matters at that point.
It does matter.
How?
It does.
I mean, you play against 80 million people or something like that? I don't know.
User install
Like,
base is a big deal. User install base is a big deal. If you think it doesn't matter, if next generation, if Microsoft don't bring it hard next generation, they're going to get stomped in the mud again. They better bring it hard. I'm telling you.
Oh man,
you'll be sitting here laughing, and you'll be.
I will because I will be laughing because I really don't think it's that.
Well,
serious.
when you have 25 million sales, next generation, they'll bring it. People like you will be to blame because you should want better for Microsoft. You want better games.
Why am I to blame? Why am I to blame?
I said people like you because you're just like, well, the best place to play multiplayer. Who gives a flying?
Stop getting mad at the facts that are there. We're just repeating the facts.
Better first party software.
No, that's fine. But we're just repeating the facts. I don't care. But I'm just repeating the facts.
What has hyped you up from Xbox's E3s? Like that was the original.
I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure this out.
Smooth. So I already answered. Merc answered. Smooth, your turn.
You were there. For last year's E3?
For me, it was Titanfall and the announcement of the
Just anything.
You want me to go through my announcements?
No, don't go through all your podcasts.
I don't know what you're asking. He never went in order of all the PlayStation E3s.
It doesn't matter what.
Why that doesn't matter?
All the years.
Why does it matter what year? We're talking about.
You were there. What was hyped the most? What was hyped the most?
For me? I did like 6 live videos. Like, what the hell? Like, you guys just not watch? I was live from E3 on Twitter.
One thing that has wowed you.
One
or two things.
From Microsoft's E3. What has made you, like, wow you from their E3?
What has wowed me from
any of their E3s?
The 43 games they showed.
No way.
Really?
Yes.
Come on, man.
I didn't know this question was presented to me.
You mean that friggin' reel of indie games last year?
I didn't realize this question was presented to me.
That was the question.
A long time ago.
No, I didn't know. It was like I didn't know why am I being asked what wowed me at this year's E3 when I was talking about 5 years. I went back all the way to 2013 up until
because you said that you felt that Xbox
in comparison to PlayStation. Yeah.
So
because you're saying I'm wild. So you're asking me what has wowed me at Xbox, what has wowed me at PlayStation? Why aren't you asking me that?
I give you examples of
no, but he's asking me what has wowed me at PlayStation. So you assumed I was wowed at a PlayStation conference, and that's why you're asking me what wowed me at Xbox.
Mark, what's going on, Mark? Get the shirts.
This is what you said, Smooth.
I said for the last 5 years, Xbox has had a better showing than PlayStation at E3s.
So what
at E3s? That's it. So what's that? But you're focusing on last year, but when I just said for the last 5 years.
All right. So wait a second, Frog. I will answer the question again.
Please.
What wowed me was backwards compatibility. I threw my dog in the air and caught it because I was like, "Whoa, that's incredible!" And
the problem is that leaked. I wasn't wild because the shit was leaked. All this shit
compatibility wasn't leaked unless you were reading the teleprompter.
Well, never mind. Actually, I predicted the OG backwards compatibility when I was writing for Tick last year.
If you predicted and came right, then you should have been excited, right?
I was excited, but I got less excited because it didn't have any achievements.
It didn't have achievements, so guess that.
I heard they're looking into that actually.
Yeah, I got. The thing is, I found that out behind the scenes, like after it was over.
And the original Xbox games don't have online, so those announcements suck from yesterday. You know, Conker's Live and Reloaded, can't play it online, broke. Battlefront 2, good luck. Who cares about it? You're gonna play.
But doesn't it have a real campaign, like?
Well, I don't know. People seem excited about backwards compatibility, but don't know half the friggin' story. None of those online games work for OG Xbox, so go buy Battlefront 2 and enjoy the campaign because I don't know what the hell you're gonna play on it.
And buy it on the best looking
servers have been turned down since 2010. Conker Live and Reloaded. Well, you get in the reloaded part because the live part is broken.
Oh god. Somebody said Super Lucky Tail wild them.
No, Super Lucky Tail did wild me.
Oh my God.
I was interested.
So that was my answer.
Reveal
Merc-
the console reveal was a wow factor to me. The Xbox One X, seeing it in its whole form, it was and being there live. Because you gotta understand, this last E3 was my first E3 being there. I watched everything on stream, so it wasn't my anticipation. It'd be different if I was home. Because when I'm home, I have my Sour Patch Kids, I got my soda, and I'm just waiting for waiting to tweet. When I'm in the arena conference, it's different. It's not the same. My anticipation level for announcements wasn't the same if I was watching on TV or at home on my console, where I'm waiting for that wow factor. I feel like every moment being there was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh what is that? Is that this? Is that? Oh shit, that's cool. That's cool. Oh wow, awesome. And then, but my thing is, I went there for one sole reason, one fucking sole reason, and that was to be there to reveal the Xbox One X, because I wanted to be there to reveal the 360. Obviously couldn't do that. Wanted to be there to reveal the Xbox One. Obviously couldn't do that. But I was there to reveal the Xbox One X. That was my lone goal. That was a wow factor. I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you this. I said in a video after, I thought E3 as a whole in 2017 was weak to years prior. And that's not labeled to Microsoft. It was just everything about it, whether it be the press conferences, the event itself. I thought it was a week compared to years prior. The food was good, but the event itself was weak to years prior. I wasn't really happy with Sony's conference. I thought Xbox conference was great for what I got to see, but in hindsight, if I was to rewatch it, I probably wouldn't like it as much as I did when I was there. But
all right. So what about the year before though? So what? So I
2016.
was watching just and all.
Like, 2016. Oh yeah, there was 2016. 2016 had Gears of War fucking 4.
So you jumped out of your seat.
It's Gears of War 4. We haven't had a Gears of War 4 since technically Judgment at that point. We had the Xbox One S.
It was like
the
it
aura
was like
of what
years,
Project.
years
Remember when Project Scorpio was announced? We didn't know what that was. Is that next generation? With the we were talking like we didn't know.
They said it that it was be the console, the family.
Yeah, it was just like it was this mystery behind that. There was freaking 2016. You
don't have to go by the years. I'm just talking about the whole thing.
You asked about, because you said 2016. Didn't you just say 2016? No, but didn't you just say 2016?
Mark, while Kid Smooth thinks, Mark, what was yours?
I mean, for me, definitely Titanfall for sure.
You're talking about the most memorable E3 moment?
The most memorable.
Oh, why did you say that?
I said of all these.
Oh my God, man! Oh my God,
too. Holy crap!
He did say that.
No,
I mean when they did show the Gears 4 demo. I mean, I definitely got
Gears 4 demo was
sure.
and they
remember that she was walking around in the dark.
Yeah, with the
flashlight.
There was
everybody following them.
That Storm looked awesome.
I'm gonna say 2013. It had to be the year that they showed Quantum Break for the first time, Sunset Overdrive, and freaking Rise to the Rome. That was the bet. That was 2013. Those was the shit. It was just like, because everything was brand new then. It was like, oh shit, that looks good.
Rise was another one. Yeah.
Hey, come on. 2013 was the shit. But
Blackbond in the chat talking to me about how PS3 is essentially sold more than 360, which may be true at the very end. But when it mattered, the PS3 got stomped.
Who has more mind share during that gen, 360 or PS3?
During that gen, I would say Nintendo did.
No, more mind share. Come on, Nintendo Wii died like shortly. 360 had the mind share, dude. Regardless, oh my God, you're. Oh my God. Okay, he's going by sales. He's going by sales. He's going by sales. If you're going by total, if you're just going by grand total sales, okay.
In fact, you know what? Let me hit the chat with some more facts. Headed into this generation, every single developer was siding with Microsoft off the bat. They were all anticipating the Xbox One to dominate the PlayStation again. And Microsoft, what happened? They announced DRM and they shot themselves in the foot. They fucked up with first-party studios, and we are where we are today.
Yep, and they didn't embrace the indies. They didn't embrace the indies.
They came out with a
I agree with it.
Sony
I agree. But heading into this generation, Blackbond
was a done deal, man.
PS3 sold more. Bro, developers already off the bat were saying Xbox was going to dominate. Those are the facts. Google it.
Those are facts.
Oh yeah,
put it in your Google and pull it up, bro.
Until that reveal.
Until that reveal came out, and a lot of people don't understand, Sony was going to do the same thing. They were going to do always online. It's just that they did a show in Europe, and they had the same similar thing that Microsoft was going to do. And then when they saw, I'm telling you, people got to understand this. Sony was going to do the same exact thing that Xbox was to do, always online, checking in with your. And then Sony was like, "Nope, we ain't doing that." People don't understand. Like they were going to do similar things. It's just that Sony's last generation was not good for them. And they came back around and they're dominating this generation. It's going to be hard to knock them back down.
And I also think, too, I don't think Sony really had the infrastructure, online infrastructure ready to go.
Oh, Xbox Live was way better.
Exactly. And I think Xbox had that kind of planned out, ready to go.
Hell yeah.
I think it actually, Sony was like, oh, we could buy some time on this. Let's pretend we're not doing it anymore. And
from the original Xbox, and moving into the 360, like Xbox's online has always been amazing. Like now it's kind of, you can say it's basically but basically the
competition
the 360 was amazing. Yeah, the 360 was the Xbox Live outpaced everything that PlayStation did. The only difference with PlayStation is you could play online for free. That was the only difference.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah, they did that switcheroo.
Hey, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy, Jez? Because I know this would be you. If I swear, if Xbox started out Xbox Live as free and then over the course of generations made you start playing, you just found your way paying $60, you would have a problem. You would have a problem. You would have a problem. You know what?
I would have a problem. Why?
What don't you have a problem with? Like you're telling me you out of all the stuff you challenge the Xbox for, you would not have a problem with them going from free to $60 a year.
Well, it depends on what $60 gives you. I don't have a problem paying something if I know what. Do you
have a problem that FanFest is $45 now?
No. What happened was that, again, back to what Frog said, their messaging sucks balls. What happened was that they basically said FanFest is going to cost $45. Now, if you remember, and I did hear the podcast last night, the floor space, Microsoft took their booth. They don't have a booth at E3. They decided to put it in the theater. Well, I did not know. Is the theater FanFest, and are they charging for it? Is it like EA Play? Or FanFest is something different? Well, when everybody was clapping and saying, thank you, Microsoft, I asked the question going, yo, is FanFest costing $45? Does that mean people who go to E3 have to pay $45 to go into your theater to play your games? And they responded back, no, FanFest is on top of that. General admission for E3 will be forthcoming. Yeah. You know, I asked a question for the general admission. Now, maybe I'm not going to E3.
FanFest usually gets you into that, though.
Well, the FanFest got you into E3, into that press conference and into E3, but they were at E3. They're not at E3 now. They got a mixer booth. So all their games are not playable on the E3 floor. They're playable in the theater. So I did not know if they called the theater FanFest and if they're charging people to go play to kind of control crowds. I don't know, and they still haven't released the details. As for people who are general admission into E3, how are they going to access Microsoft's theater? In addition, it is a theater, guys. It is a theater. It is not an expo floor. So Microsoft did not take their expo floor from E3 and went to another expo. They went to a theater. So maybe the games are in the hallways. Maybe they're in the little press conferences. We don't know what the layout is.
the reveal of the new theater?
Yeah, I showed I think I shared. Yeah,
it's like
it's a theater, but it's a theater though, man. It's not.
Yeah, but it's not just a theater of just like one room, like, because even the Galen Center is smaller than that theater, and they put literally E3 show floor in there during when they let the press go before they go to E3. They have all their booths and stuff set up in there with bars and drinks and stuff like that. And
so they'll probably
equivalent to their booth size.
Okay.
So in the theater, the Microsoft Theater, from the Galen Center, the Microsoft Theater is much bigger than the Galen Center. At least that's what it looks. From what I've seen last year, it looks much bigger. But I didn't know
if that is if they're calling that FanFest, because everybody was saying like, "Yo, they just left E3 and now they're gonna do their own thing." And I didn't know. And when I heard FanFest is $45, I was like, "Oh wow, they're charging now to get people into their show."
Wish they did that last year. Wish they did that shit last year.
Well, I know. I saw what you're saying, but the thing is that they still don't have the floor space. They just still don't have the floor space at E3. It's just a mixer booth.
Yeah, so they don't have to pay. You know how much money they lost buying everybody E3 tickets?
Well, I'm sure. And the $45 includes you know, and they're saying the theater's convertible, and I'm even thinking maybe they'll have like maybe stuff on the stage too, like to play and things like that. So you know, it could. I'm not saying.
Yeah, what's going to happen is they're probably going to break the stage down and then
that was FanFest, and that's what I asked, and the guy who runs FanFest responded back just going, no, it's something in addition to our typical E3 showing, which is great. You know, that's great, but I wasn't like, you know, for 40. I was thought $45 that you have to pay to go see their booth now, which I thought that was messed up. And they really didn't specify that. They didn't say more details to come to E3. Instead, they just talked about FanFest. The problem I had with their reveal of the whole FanFest thing was instead of saying, hey, you're going to play games early, you're going to play our great games and all this other stuff, they're showing the swag that they're going to give. And I'm just like,
well, they're not going to, I mean, come on, it's
games,
E3.
though, man.
Dude, come on, stop it, Jez. Come on, man.
What about the games,
no,
though, man?
Come
like,
on. We're talking about, you really expecting
hard drive
you
and
really,
the shirt that I'm wearing.
Dude, you really asking that on for Inside Spot? You're like, oh, tell me what you're going to talk about at E3. Really? Come on. Why would they tell you what you're going to be playing at E3 if they're not even showing? Like, come on.
They didn't have it. No, I'm not saying what they play in E3, but they didn't say like, yo, because they wrote back in my tweet going, they have the first access to all the brand new games and stuff like that.
That's true.
But they didn't say that on the show. They just said, check out, you're going to get this shirt. And oh, give me that glow-in-the-dark hard drive. Like friggin' the price is right,
dude. It's April, E3's in June. All that information, when that shit goes live, it's gonna happen. I just feel like that stuff that's petty to be
I'm just commenting on what I saw and how I felt, and I was like, okay,
no, not that. I don't mind you. I don't care that you asked about like the price and whatnot. It's what you were mentioning about. Oh, they're showing swag, but not the games that they're gonna be playing at.
Well,
like,
he could have kind of sold FanFest as like this gives you access, and you know I know people have privileges and they've gone before, but E3 is open to the public now, man. People who don't go to these games are now going to these conventions. They don't know who's been to 5 E3s and saw Phil Spencer growing up across these. Nobody has been this. So there's new people now going to this. They should actually explain what this is. Don't just assume, oh, FanFest last year was this. I mean, now this year,
with how old is FanFest? It's so many. They've had so many.
4 years old. It's 4 years old.
It's like okay. I mean, okay. I mean,
they didn't explain that it gives you early access to their games, and they said it in the tweet. And instead, they were showing the swag that you get, which is nice, I guess. You know, you get the hard drive and the shirt and drinks and all that other stuff. But when I heard that they pulled out of E3, they put it in their own booth, and now it's $45 for FanFest. I asked them, "Is FanFest do this?" Now people could say, "Jez, you don't even go to this thing. Who do you give a shit about?" But you know what? That was a question I had, and I asked it, and I'm glad they answered it because they still haven't answered my question as to why you can't do sharing controllers on the Xbox. You could do it on PC. Ybarra was showing it, you know, but he still hasn't answered. I asked them all the time, like, why is this not on Xbox? They didn't answer that one, but they answered my FanFest one. So
maybe it's something they're going to show at E3.
I don't know what they're showing, but I'm not. I don't have a
avatars at E3.
Avatar, yeah. Where the freak is the avatars? That's what I want to freaking
avatars at E3.
What you mean? Like if you go on Xbox One, it has the avatars. They got the avatar
announcement. Like
they better not bring those avatars.
They announced that avatar shit. I mean,
they put those avatars on E3. They are going. Oh man,
you gotta show something.
I have nightmares about the Avatar E3.
They're gonna show the avatars with the new Forza Kart game.
Look, can you see the bottom of my foot? Can you see the bottom of my?
Oh goodness!
But here's the thing. All right, there's no thing actually. We're about to end the show because we've been running pretty late, and you guys need to relax, man. You guys need to chill, man.
I've been chilling for 5 years.
No, you went AWOL, dude.
I'm gonna go AWOL. I'm just tired of the bull crap, man. I'm tired of blue suits and people running around with white gloves and gold consoles. Come on. This is ridiculous. When I go buy a box that has a gaming console in it, I want the games for the friggin' console. And because I say that, I should just chill?
Rand in the chat, they aren't going to show off the Forza kart thing this year.
Oh,
all right. So Forza Horizon
Japan. That's actually a good thing, Rand. I'm glad you said that.
Thank you. So avatars will not be shown. Oh, yeah, no Forza kart.
All right. All right, so I'm gonna
because they got Horizon. They got Horizon. Horizon's gonna be awesome. Like I better be in Japan though. Like that'd be pretty cool.
Horizon.
Like, if they got those kind of things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, hell, maybe that would increase Japan sales. They promote, hey, Forza in Japan.
Oh, that doesn't
sell it
increase
to
in
the
Japan.
rising sun. You know what I mean?
Nothing's increasing Japan sales.
Not in the Asian
But
market.
it's just like, man, I'm just kind of like, and that's why I'm sitting there watching that Inside Xbox. I'm like, these are opportunities, this is opportunity, and we don't need parrots on shoulders. I don't need people sitting in the Twitter booth going, "Look at this person tweeted out this picture." Like they're trying. Like I think it's a great platform, but they gotta stop being goofy about it and stop with the interviews.
Hey, Jazz,
Like,
what about that mini sub? You didn't like that when those people were in that mini sub finding something?
Oh
treasure?
my God, yo! If you listen to my tweet, I was yelling. I got there's more content in the real world for Sea of Thieves than in the friggin' game itself. They got people flying out of cannons with Sea of Thieves. They got people in mini subs doing treasures in Sea of Thieves. What the hell is going on? I'm like, where is their focus? They'd rather fly a guy out of a cannon than put a friggin' extra in the game. And Crack is coming. He's coming. They're still drawing him up. He's coming at E3. He's coming.
Relax.
Relax. They're gonna, you know what? They're gonna pull. That's why they needed the Microsoft Theater to pull the Kraken on stage. They're gonna call him on stage like, "Here's the Kraken. You've been waiting." They'll tease you with the tentacles coming out from the side of the stage like this, and then all of a sudden, the rest of the Kraken will come out and say, "Download today."
I don't think it's that bad.
Have you played Sea of Thieves? When's the last time we played?
I haven't played since the stupid Bloodborne stream.
Oh my God! But speaking of that, what games are you playing right now? Like since you came back, like what's
nothing.
Your game
I haven't gotten to play a game since. I got a list of games that I hate to play. I gotta start Hellblade. I gotta finish. I gotta do Far Cry. I gotta do Hellblade. I gotta do. And I got a couple games that I have to review. I have a lot of games I have to play.
Oh, you did get Hellblade.
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Great game. Great game.
I wish we.
I got Hellblade on PC.
Hey, speaking of that, because you said Hellblade, the rumor is that there's some more Sony games that were only on Sony's console that may end up on Xbox at E3. Games like Nier and Neo, which those games deserve to be everywhere. Those games are amazing. They deserve to be everywhere.
Yeah, you know what's good? One more thing before we get the hell out of here. Why is it when a third party or a second party game comes to Xbox, the first question is, it's like they get bombarded that, is this a timed exclusive? This is, when does it come to PlayStation? That it's like a thing until somebody finally caves and reveals it's a timed exclusive, right? But when nobody asks about Crash Bandicoot, nobody asks about Hellblade, nobody asks about Nier, nobody asks
They asked about Spider-Man, though.
They asked but come on. I don't know why anybody's bothering asking about fucking Spider-Man.
I don't know why.
By Sony.
But like all these other games that just by nobody, it's like why aren't we asking about this? But like, the first time, anytime that a game that's coming to Xbox gets announced, it's like, is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Like,
I think
let the game fucking shine. Like.
I think the reason is because the games that they get on their console are typically multi-plats generally overall. Like Tomb Raider started on Sony's platform. Tomb Raider has always been a multi. But okay, my bad. It didn't. Where did it start? PC. I'm sorry.
No, it was a multi-plat when it first originated.
The what?
The
Tomb Raider?
Yeah, it was
So
on
you're saying
Saturn.
Tomb Raider, that brand is associated with Sony.
No, Tomb Raider it came out on Saturn and PlayStation. It didn't start on PlayStation. It came out on Saturn.
Well, everybody.
I'm not. No. Are we dealing with facts or with perception? It was available for Saturn when it first came out in like 95, 96.
I don't know where's Sega at now.
Sega.
Go to the question.
The bottom line is, I think it's the perception is the games that come out usually on Xbox. Like it's been Dead Rising, it's been Tomb Raider, and what's the other game? It's been another game.
Titanfall, the first one.
Titanfall, the first one.
They asked them all about this.
So
and the developer came on.
People asked about Titanfall. I remember that. But Tomb Raider, it's kind of like people asked about it because it's typically associated with Sony.
Yeah.
And Dead Rising, they were like, well, Dead Rising 3 didn't come, but maybe this one will because, Dead Rising to me, is associated more with Xbox because that's kind of where it started. So I think that's why but that's the only game I can really remember. These other games like Like I don't really get it. Like that's the only game.
Like Splinter Cell's Xbox.
No, I understand.
Like, I would associate Splinter Cell with Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand where Smooth's come from. Like they do harass the hell. Like when he did announce like the timed exclusives of just exclusive, people did go up. Like the media just went into town going, "Is this time? Is it time?" Like Jeff Keighley and all those guys would go after him. And I think the reason why is because they were given kind of not. They're like this holiday. They will bring kind of vague. Like, look what Spider-Man. Look what Insomniac did. It is never coming ever. Like they just did a definitive kind of never. Yeah. And Microsoft's like, well, it's coming this holiday. That's all I could talk about right now. And I think Microsoft again responds to those where they kind of just didn't flat out go, it's never coming. The only one they did do it to was Titanfall 1. I think Aaron Greenberg came on and was like,
yeah, they said
never. Titanfall 1 is never going anywhere else. Yeah. And I think, and then that just squashed everything. And I think it has to do with their response. Like if they just definitively just like say no way. And I think that's what people are looking for. And I think as Xbox fans, that's what we're looking for too. Like we don't want
that's totally what Xbox fans are looking for.
And that's what we want to do is like, and then when he comes on, he's like, well, I don't want to take stuff off of consoles and stuff. You know, I understand that that's the thing, but you got to be competitive in the market. And the thing is like you can put your stuff everywhere else and buy timed exclusives and stuff like that. But you really like look what they're doing with the PUBG though, man. Even that, the PUBG, they are marketing the hell out of that game.
Yeah,
and it's not ready for prime time. They're bundling it. They're putting it in. They advertising it every second they do. But they're doing. That's what we want them to do. But I just think they're doing it to the wrong game. Like that game is in preview. Give it a chance. Like you can't be bundling it and giving a free play weekends and all this other like.
And another reason to Smooth's question is a lot of the games that are exclusive. If you think about a lot of the exclusive games that are maybe
like one was well, yeah, you're right. Well,
the second party or third party games, right? They're usually you hear a lot of people. I can't say the casuals, but this is say in our net saying, "Oh, I don't want that Japanese crap like Nier. Oh, I don't want that Japanese crap like Yakuza. I don't want that JRPG like this." So the problem is like when they get this stuff, they're like, "Oh, well, we're getting it now. Well, we're getting it. Oh, I don't want Neo. I want the Japanese." So my whole thing is like, it's like, do they want it or don't they want it? Like me personally, when I talked about Neo, I said it should be everywhere. When I talked about Nier, yeah, I said they should be everywhere. Like a lot of these games that are only on PlayStation, I agree. Yakuza should be everywhere, but I think
and
maybe
that's Sega too. And
yeah,
Sega,
I think maybe the perception is maybe it won't do as well because of the market, or maybe I don't know.
It's that they're making it for the Japanese over, and they're making those games for Japanese, and they're putting them over because Yakuza's already out in Japan.
Yeah, Yakuza is always out like months and months in advance.
But I guess what I'm saying is like, why isn't Xbox? I think it belongs on Xbox. Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
why not put that game everywhere?
I don't know. And the thing is like these are great questions. Like I feel that Microsoft should be going out and shopping for these things and getting these games there. Like I think they're kind of a little too complacent and they just waiting for the developers to kind of just say, "Hey, I think it's time to put it on Xbox." Like I don't know. I don't feel confident in that they really have headhunters out there grabbing these games up or getting them on their platform and being hungry for it. I have this feeling where they kind of just sit back and they kind of go, yeah, oh, you want to put it on a console? Yay, okay, we'll help you. And they're waiting for the developers to come to them rather than identifying the content and going out there and getting it. Where I think they were much more hungry than the 360. They said, Kojima, get over here. We want you here. Final Fantasy, get over here. We want you over here. And I think they were much more aggressive targeting what they wanted for their console for content wise. And now I feel they're just kind of waiting, like Hellblade taking, like, Hellblade should have probably came out in the holiday. Like, I don't know why it took so long.
Made a good holiday game.
Yeah, I don't know why it took so long. Unless it was a contractual, because it's not even a year.
It would have been a good filler game. That's what Microsoft needs a lot of these.
Like Hellblade would have been good. Like I don't know why it took so. And then you were saying like Neo and Nia, like they're taking a long time. And I'm like, these games should like, unless Sony has real great deals with them, like. But
like Dragon Quest, is Dragon Quest coming to Xbox? Because I see it in the PlayStation.
No, Dragon Quest
never.
No.
For some
but what I'm saying,
it'll go everywhere, but it won't go to Xbox.
Ni no Kuni.
Same thing with like.
Yeah,
that's Bandai, right?
I mean, but those are great games that should be everywhere. That everybody should be able to experience. On, especially, I can imagine, like like we talk about most powerful console. Why not? Why not put it there? Like that game,
it doesn't make sense.
I mean,
is it a contractual thing?
What I'm saying is, does it not make sense because the perception is it won't sell there, or will it not sell there? Look how well freaking what's the name did with
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think some of these games that because the perception is the reason Sony's list looks so big because they have a lot of these second and third party deals and so these games don't come, but now they're coming to Xbox. And people I hear a lot of people in the Twitter talking about, I'm not buying No Man's Sky. And I'm like, why not? Just give it a chance. Get these games are coming out. These games libraries being filled. Like, it's a filler game until your next big game comes. Give it a chance. If you don't support this crap, then you'll wonder why you're not getting some of the games that maybe another company has made on the other platform. Give these games a chance. If Neo comes out on the Xbox, it should be a freaking hot item. If Nier comes out on freaking Xbox, that should be those two games alone should freaking sell like crazy because they're phenomenal games. But if they don't sell, these developers may sit back and say, you know what?
Thanks for the follow.
Next time, let's just go on ahead and put it here and just leave it there. You know?
Yeah. I mean, look at Capcom was the Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate. Like, they're putting that in the Windows Store. You know, like they actually put that in the Windows Store as a cross buy. Later on down the line, which is kind of like, did they just do that because they're like, hey, we're not selling, let's put it somewhere else? Like, I just want, and that was one of the things that really got me a little upset from Microsoft's camp because I don't feel like they're going out knowing their core and picking the content. And I think Smooth, you said it yesterday on Rand's podcast. Yeah. Shout out to Rand. I don't know if he's still here, but you were saying like they feel like there's this disconnect. Like they think that they're doing good, but meanwhile the core is yelling, we want this, we want this, and they think like, nah, man, we're good. And they kind of did it last year with like, where are the games? And it's like, well, we just announced 42 games, man. What are you talking about? And you know, I think there is that disconnect. And even looking at Inside Xbox, like, you got hardcore people watching this at night. Like, there should not be this many. It should not be 2020. This should be like the news channel. Like, this should be, and I'm talking about new blockbuster announcements, but man, there's got to be like more gameplay at least. Like, have people playing or something like that. Have some of your mix of people like streaming live or something like that. Like, I don't think we need to have people on stools just interviewing and talking. Like, just like that other guy they interviewed about The Walking Dead. Like, he's like, gameplay. We live and die by gameplay. So when can we see gameplay? I was like, wait till E3, and he's like, I don't know when. Like, he
did say that.
I was like, oh, okay, damn.
That's funny.
No gameplay.
You talking about the guy that was in
Walking Dead thing.
You talking about the guy that had the Jordans on and looked like a grown card?
Yeah, like, the Walking Dead guy. Like, I'm like, is it a top-down shooter? Is it a third-person shooter? Is it a first-person shooter? I don't know. But, they didn't mention that. But I just feel like there's this disconnect. And I wish that they would go out and know, like, our fans would like this. Boom, let's get that content on our console. That's where I think they need to do a little better. I don't know whose job that was. We thought it was Shannon Loftus. Maybe it's Mike Booty now. Maybe
hold on. Shout out to Rick D for the subscription. But go ahead.
Booty.
Maybe it's Booty. We haven't heard him. He hasn't tweeted, right?
Yeah, he's not very social, dude. He's not very social.
No, he's not.
I think you mentioned
he's not active on social media. Not that much.
Not yet. Maybe not yet. Maybe after E3. I wonder if he's going to present at E3. I wonder who's going to be on stage. Like, if Phil's probably going to do it. He loves it, though. He loves E3. He's probably going to do it. But
they better bring something to E3 this year, man, because I really do. If they don't, it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad, man. I could see that. I could see that becoming a real big problem, especially with the core.
I think they'll talk about games, but like I said, going forward, my old prediction is that Microsoft's next console, and I keep saying this, is it will be more powerful, obviously, than the X, but all their games will play forward and back. So anything that comes out on their next console, you'll still be able to play it on the X. You'll still be able to play it on the. I think that's how Microsoft's going to go. Whatever game comes out, whatever game console comes out next, you'll be able to play those games, even on the weakest version of their console. They may not run as well, but I think that's how Microsoft's going to do it.
Yeah, and I just want to leave with this point. Like, and the thing is, if we're talking about next gen and just what it is, you got to look and see, like, they got to be building the franchises now. Like, that's what Sony did with Last of Us. Like, they basically had that at the end, and now they got everybody anticipated Last of Us 2. Horizon Zero Dawn. They got, they're going to have another moment when they announce Horizon Zero Dawn 2 on stage. So,
they're already working on it.
Microsoft is not, like, I don't think Lucky's Tales and again Lucky's Tales 2 is going to do something. So, like, Maybe Quantum Break too, but again, we know that the studio dissolved. They're doing something else now. Like, that's the other thing that I think is kind of bad with the deals that Microsoft made with Sunset Overdrive. They just made them for like quick one-night stands, like basically games that we don't think a sequel's coming. Like, we're begging. Sunset's begging. And, you know, that's the thing. It's like, you know, they don't have the studios, but they sign these one-done deals, and we got to anticipate the sequel. Like, Quantum Break 2 probably would do better if they put a multiplayer, made better time powers, things like that. They could have expanded on it, but that's where I think another concern happens, is that we can't sit back like the Sony fans and go, yeah, Ben's studio's working on a game. Japan studio got this one working on this one. We got this one working over here. We got like, oh, well, Remedy, yeah, they're gone now. Crytek, they don't want to do Rise anymore. They did their own thing. Amazon got them. CryEngine. Oh, yeah, we got, oh, what about Quantum Break? Oh, well, they're doing Spider-Man, and I bet you Sony locks down Spider-Man 2 and 3. And it's like, when is Insomniac going to come back and do Sunset? And that's kind of like, we kind of got cut off, like right at the, like when we should be getting sequels. Like, think about if Gears of War was a one and done.
Yeah, and the Insomniac deal with Sunset Overdrive was a bad deal because Microsoft the IP, but Insomniac has publishing rights.
And you know that was a Don Matrick move. He took a primarily Sony developer who made Resistance, who made Ratchet and Clank, and got him on stage and said he's making a game for us. That was so PR to go pick from the Sony tree and bring them on Xbox and to grab some of those people over. They don't do that anymore now. Now they go, can we come over to the pod? Like, you know, they're not doing that now. You know, but that was a targeted move. That was a Kojima type move that they pulled at the 360, and they pulled it with that Ted Price on a Microsoft stage. You know, come on, he made 3 Resistance and Ratchet and Clank. But again, then they sent them back to Sony, and now they're making Spider-Man. Like, that's where I think the concern is for the future of Xbox, because all we know we're guaranteed is Halo, Gears, and Forza. Cue the music. You know? But that's what we know we're guaranteed for that, you know? Yeah. Whereas the other ones kind of got cut off, and that's where I think a lot of concern is. So hopefully, you know,
I agree with that.
We see at E3, you know, and that's where, like, you know, we can't sit back and go, Remedy's working on the next game for us, guys. Don't worry about it. We can't wait to see. Well, no, Remedy's not. They're doing a multiplat, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's where I think it's just
Remedy said, I think that they won't do a game for Microsoft or something like that. There was news about that. All their games are going to go multiplat now. Yeah,
and they had such bad, like, the deals kind of fell through at the end. They weren't like, this is a great partnership. Like, they kind of had some, like, crappy things to say. No extra DLC for, like, Quantum Break. Like,
I actually was one of those that thought they should have bought them. Like, actually bought that studio.
Yo, I went back and watched some videos of that, and I back and watched those videos, and people like, buy Remedy, just buy them up when Quantum Break was coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, because they do story-based games, and, like, Microsoft really...
Come on, we can't. We should
like they're lacking there, man. It would have been a good fit.
Yeah. When's my next Alan Wake coming? Oh, don't worry, they're gonna show this Alan Wake on stage. Not happening. You know, that's where it gets a lot very spooky. Like, we're just sitting here going, well, Alan Wake 2's not happening.
Yeah.
Conker's Rare's doing their own thing now, so no Rare IP is coming from them.
And I'm reading Insomniac's page, and Insomniac actually owns Sunset Overdrive. That's the reason.
Well, that's the reason why they did it.
Yeah, because
I think Microsoft owns the IP, but
no,
publishing rights.
They own
which drives me nuts, because the last time they talked about a sequel, they were like, we need they reference Microsoft, they need Microsoft, and then next time they talk about it after that, they need a publisher. I'm like, they can just make it. I mean, you obviously can make it.
I was under the impression Microsoft owned the IP and they had publishing rights.
That's the reason why they did it.
That's the main reason they put it on Xbox, because Insomniac wanted to keep
Sony wanted to own
property. Sony wanted to own it. That's why they put it on Xbox.
They wanted their own IP. They wanted to pull like a Bungie where they kept Destiny as the IP.
So that's why they're looking for a publisher that's got more reach in order to publish the game.
Well, they need money to make the game. Yeah,
as long as they don't go to EA. Oh my god!
Oh,
God. you know, EA got the check to
show that EA, man.
That
game a flop.
I don't want to derail this, but did you see how the guy who made what is that the co-op game? They were going to go to Microsoft first, and then they went to EA. I saw that article.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
What was it?
A Way Out.
A Way Out. They were going to do Microsoft first.
They were going to do Microsoft, and then went to EA. Yeah,
they went to EA.
And Microsoft wouldn't publish a game. Like they weren't interested.
No,
I don't think they were interested in it.
Yeah,
man.
and they went to EA.
I like the games, bro. I don't know about them turning down games, man.
That too, and also
Who knows?
limited run games. Like they were at PAX. They have all like they take the digital games and make them physical like releases. And they said about the problem when Microsoft wants a certain number guaranteed sold for them to even make them, and they won't partner them. So when I went to the limited run games booth, all PlayStation games, all PlayStation, all Vita, all digital versions of all physical versions and boxes of digital games. Like if you want that. And it's another thing Microsoft kind of denying. Like I'm just like, I don't know who's making the decisions on there, but I just feel like some of the decisions I'm just like, huh? Like, you know,
everybody's
got a
like
console
that
out there, man. Like, come on.
All right, guys, we gotta get ready to get out of here. It's been like a little long.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man. Well, sorry I'm late.
That's all right. You made your 2 hours. That means we probably was here for a bit, but thank you guys to watching. For those who tuned in on Twitter, Mixer, Facebook, and YouTube, you can catch this episode tomorrow on iTunes if you're or on SoundCloud. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for all the donations and the subscriptions and the likes. Remember, if you have any questions, the email that's actually on this template is actually wrong. There's no planetxbox@gmail.com that exists. But you can send any email to kidsmooth@gmail.com, or you can just follow me on Twitter and let us know what you want to hear there. You guys had anything to say before we exit? Otherwise, you can say your outros and we can get out of here.
Nah, nothing at the end now.
That's it? Really?
Oh, you know, we're counting the days down to God of War. That's it.
Oh, yeah, fire.
Yeah, I'm hopefully I can get that thing early. But
isn't it? The reviews come out tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Eastern.
Woo!
I'll see you this like tomorrow. Mostly, I'll probably do a video. But yeah, I forgot that game comes out. We're 10 days away. Something like that.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Comes out on my son's birthday.
My daughter's birthday's the day after.
Yeah, my kid's birthday.
My
is
son
like 4 days
goes to sleep.
after.
I know what I'll be doing. Gotta work.
Yeah, right.
Wait, are you playing in the hardest difficulty or no?
Not off the bat. Not off the bat.
I'm gonna try it.
Once I beat it, I'll do a second run through at the hardest difficulty. And
I'm gonna beat it as it's supposed to, and then the hardest I'll attempt. I don't think
I'm tempted to try the hardest difficulty. I heard it's gonna be freaking hard.
I don't know.
Smart, but we'll see.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I know. Tomorrow's gonna be. Tonight, yeah, it's gonna be.
Tomorrow's gonna be the onslaught of God of War reviews.
I just can't wait to see.
Somebody said,
I don't want to know what it's about. I'm not reading anything.
Somebody said check out AC. He does really good reviews.
Oh, he does great reviews.
He does great reviews.
No one I really listen to.
Yeah.
Hey, ACG, is that what it is?
ACG, yeah.
ACG,
Oh yeah, he does
he's good.
really
He's good.
Smooth. Somebody's saying that I'm not a mod. What's up? I came in late. That's why.
You know, I think I modded you. You're not a mod.
Yeah,
No?
great show.
No, he's not a mod. I'm looking at him in the chat.
Let me see.
Businessman Marcus.
And yes, I am excited to play State of Decay 2 with you guys.
Oh,
I'm
that's gonna be
really
fun.
excited.
Yeah.
That's the game I'm really freaking excited for. That's the game I think that's gonna be like the buzz game that everybody's talking about on Xbox. I think that game is gonna be the game that people are talking about when it comes to Xbox. People like zombies.
I'm telling you, man. I played it. It was smooth. Did you give your? Did you play it?
I got sick of time waiting in line.
They didn't let you in?
No, my badge. The only game my badge didn't work. I couldn't like swing on my way through.
It's all right. Supposed to get you in on Saturday. Yeah.
I was trying. I honestly, believe it or not, like it was like I wanted to play, but I really kind of wanted to get key things done, and I got the key things that I needed done. So I'll get the State of Decay 2. I'm not really worried about it, but
you said Ashen was solid, pretty solid, right?
Ashen was good.
I wanted to play Ashen, loved it. Wanted to play Below, I liked it. Code Vein, I was never looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to that shit now.
Yeah, I'm interested in that game.
Yeah,
Sinners. Yeah. I played all the games I really wanted to play, with the exception of State of Decay 2, but it's a month away, so I'm not sweating it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, from what I played, I don't want to compare it to like GTA or anything, but it was smooth. Like it was really good. Like the jumping in and out of the cars and to the room, like I could see it, and the world was really big. Like you could go up. I like went off road. Like I went up the mountains. Like I was kind of trying to break the game too. I was seeing like
trying to get
how
some screen tears in there.
That's good.
There was no screen tearing, not that I saw. But yeah, I wanted to see like how the physics went. Like of the car, could I just go off the road? Because there wasn't a lot of variability in the first one. Like this was sort of like you could go off road off the mountain, and the trucks were real. It was. I liked it a lot. You know, it definitely sold me. And you want to know what? To be honest, after playing that thing, I was happy that was $30. I'm like, wow, that is a good game for $30. Like it is definitely one of those things where you're like, this is much more. This is a good, almost like a Hellblade, like how you play Hellblade. You're like, I can't believe this.
Yeah,
and that's why we gotta do that. That's why we gotta do that PX stream though.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
and I
that,
say from playing that,
play
I'm telling you, from playing that, I'm like playing this game, I'm like, no, this is good. Especially, I'd even deal with like the base building and all that other stuff. And the other cool thing that I wanted to mention was like I like that there's different kind of status effects of depending, like if you inhale kind of the zombie kind of poison, you have inhalation problems and you got to go back to your base to cure it. So I think it's really cool. You know, so I definitely, it sold me on the game. I really liked it. I only played 10 minutes for waiting that long, and I did win a month of Xbox Game Pass.
Awesome.
And from that little you get a coin.
We're supposed to give it away. You know, next week we're going to give away
yeah, I got a bunch.
Game Pass and Darwin Project, maybe. Like, I think we got an extra code of Darwin Project.
It was cool because they gave you like a coin, and then you go to the Sea of Thieves booth where they were handing out Chips Ahoy's, and it was just like a lounge.
I still got them.
Oh, you kept the coin?
No,
and then
Chips
you put
Ahoy.
the coin inside. Oh, yeah, tons of Chips Ahoy. You put the coin in one of the vending machines, and they have all the different games in Game Pass and game boxes, and then you choose a game, and you open it up, and it gives you like a Game Pass or something like that, and they're different variations. Well, I'm going to tell you my strategy was I'll pick the game that nobody liked, Recore. Nobody's going to pick that game because they're going to think they get it for free, right? Nobody's going to pick that one. That's where I found my 1 month of Xbox Live.
Oh, you awesome.
Nice.
That's where my knowledge came in. I'm like, nobody's picking Recore because when you look at it, you think you're going to win the game. So I'm like, nobody's going to pick Recore.
And when you open it, it's something else, right?
Oh, I opened it up. It was a 1 Xbox Live Game Pass.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you.
It was really good, though. It was a good setup.
It was. I didn't do it, though, because I thought it was gambling. All right. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. We will see you guys next week. Peace.